takes the snap, gives right side to Smith. He drives forward, and he's in there. Touchdown, Rebels.
Rich Rebel football is on.
Here's the snap. Anderson fakes the handoff. He keeps it himself, running the option, cuts upfield to the 10-5, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Jared Anderson, and the Rich Rebels make it 13-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard.
An era of Rebel football came to a close after last season, but the end of one chapter,
and that will do it. As time runs down, the Rebels win.
Means the exciting beginning of the next.
Turns and gives to Huffaker, who finds some room up the middle inside the 30.
Coach Justin Grohl takes the reins and rides on with a roster ready to make some noise.
Ott back to throw. Ball pops 3. Huffner smashed him. Kavanaugh dropped back to pass. Reagan Huffner brought the heat.
Strap in, Rebel football fans, and join us for Rich High School football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Give to Colton Meek. He's down inside the 10, breaks a tackle to the 5, still on his feet.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Cash Honda, Yamaha, and Logan, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, by Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Rocky Mountain Yeti, by Evanston Regional Hospital, Jensen Wood Motors in Montpelier, Idaho, mylocalradio.com, and by Plains Tire.
Anderson pulls it out, running the option left side, room to run, breaks one tackle, dives forward, and he is just shy of the end zone.
And now, Rebel football fans.
Rolls to his right, looking to throw. He's got his man. Throw on the sideline. Caught!
Hang up your boots, crank up the volume, and get ready to roll as we head to the gridiron to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan Steineckert.
Deep down the left sideline, Trineri steps in front and intercepts it. Good afternoon, Rebel fans, and welcome to Rich Rebel Football on KADQ. It's the 2018 season kickoff season opener. Today the Rebels take on the Bear Lake Bears. Rich opens the season at home, and kickoff is scheduled for 45 minutes from now. In the meantime, we've got the pregame show presented by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We'll hear from Rolene, and then we'll set the scene for today's game of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live video online at mylocalradio.com.
Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is Rich County's representative. As a mother and grandmother of Rich High graduates and current students, and a longtime resident of Randolph, Rolene is familiar with your needs and will work to provide you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a new car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Play hard and go Rebels.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show. It's an exciting afternoon at Rich High School where the Rebels kick off the 2018 season hosting the Bear Lake Bears. And these teams have split their matchups over the last 2 seasons. They've been defensive battles. And boy, if the JV game is any indication, we might be in for a different sort of game than we had the last couple of years. JV Bears beat the Rebels 38-10. It was 38-2 at one point. Rebels scored late. Riley Carrillo with a long touchdown run to make it a little bit more respectable, but a lot of offense from the Bears in that football game. And Rich defense has, in the last 2 years, allowed the Bears just a total of 14 points, while the Rebel offense has not scored against the Bears in the last couple of years. 2 points 2 years ago in a 2-0 win, and no points last year. Last year, a rough one for the Rebels, the roughest of Coach Ashley Brown's tenure. Rich went just 1-9 overall on the season, and Coach Brown, after the season was over, ended up resigning as the football coach. Still on to coach the boys basketball team, and they'll get going in a couple of months. But on the football field, Justin Grohl takes over. Coach Grohl, of course, graduated from Rich High School in 1992, played college football at Southern Utah University, and has been an assistant here at Rich High School for the football team for a number of years. And he takes over takes the reins, I guess you might say, and takes over a team that went to just, again, 1-9 last year, 6-5, and lost in the semifinals the year before. The Rebels had won 11 straight quarterfinal games, had been to the semifinals in 11 consecutive seasons before last year's loss at Milford ended that streak. And Rich was up and down a bit last year. They had some good games. They had some times where the defense looked solid. They beat Monticello 21-6 early in the year. They competed well, losing at Milford 21-7. Milford Tigers went on to win the state championship. Rebels competed extremely well and just about pulled off the upset at Kanab. 14-12 was the loss there, but other times they struggled, just couldn't stop the opposition. 38 points they gave up against Westside, 41 points in the loss against Layton Christian. The consistency needs to come back. It needs to be better, I should say, this year, and that might be tough because it's a young roster. Just 2 returning starters on offense, maybe 3 if you count Cason Trineri, who started at times last year, but Jared Anderson at quarterback and then Jaden Nelson up on the line will play center again for this Rebel offense. It's, as I mentioned, though, it's a young team. Rich, last year, the 1-9 record, lost in the first round of the state playoffs. Bear Lake last year, after the win over Rich, got blown out by Gooding. They lost to Fremont. They were up and down, back and forth. They blew out Malad at one point. 42 points scored was their highest of the season, but they lost the last couple of games against Aberdeen and then limped into the playoffs where they lost at Declo in that first round. But the Bears are shifting things a little bit. They're going to try to run a no-huddle offense. They've got signs on the sideline. If you watch any college football and you've seen the Oregon Ducks, they hold up signs for the offense. Everybody just looks over to the sideline, sees what the sign is, and then runs the play. And they'll listen for coaches' cues as well. And it worked wonders for the JV team. As I mentioned, they scored 38 points in that JV game that ended just a few minutes ago. Last year and the year before, as I mentioned, between Rich and Bear Lake were defensive battles, and Rich won 2 years ago here at Rich. Bear Lake won last year 14-0. Both teams graduated, a lot of their players, a lot of seniors gone, and trying to fill a lot of shoes, fill a lot of holes, both teams. Looking back at the history between these two teams, we'll take a deeper look at this on the Laketown Ledger, but that's it. The last couple of years, Rich and Bear Lake, 1 win, 1 loss. We've got your starting lineups, your Epic Recreation keys of the game. We've got the Laketown Ledgers I mentioned, plus the Pugstone Sporting Green scene. You're tuned into the Rolene Kennedy pregame show, and we've got the Mound Valley Cattle Company, Where Are They Now, coming up. That's in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and be back on the Rolene Kennedy pregame show. This has been your scene set, and we'll be right back.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Trayson Lutz, and you're tuned into Rich High School football on Rebel Radio at mylocalradio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Back on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show. Today the Rebels face the Bears in the season home opener. It's also the season opener for the 2018 football season. Rebels with a new head coach. The Bears led by Ryan Messerly, who's in he's been there a number of years coaching the Bears. Stay tuned. We've got the Mound Valley Cattle Company. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, Where Are They Now? That's coming up on this portion of the pregame show. It's brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. And we'll be right back to talk with Cody Grohl, a 2011 graduate of Rich High School, right after this.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Reagan Huffner with live coverage of Rich High School gridiron action on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Winston Churchill said, "No hour of life is wasted that is spent in the saddle." The same is true about education. No hour of life is wasted when learning. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, understand the value of good education. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company is proud to support the students at Rich High School in academics and activities. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Ryan STEINECKERT with Cody Grohl on today's Mound Valley Cattle Company Where They Now interview. Cody, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, of course.
2011 graduate from Rich High School. You were part of that 2009 state championship football team. Off the bat, what do you remember? What are some favorite memories or experiences or things like that that really stick out most when you think of your days at Rich High School?
I really loved all my time there. Just going back to that state championship, I remember that we were playing it in the snow. They had to have the tractor on the other end of the field plowing the snow off so that we could play. I think there were like 14 or 15 total fumbles in that game. It was a pretty good memory.
You guys beat Duchesne for that championship, right?
Yep, we did beat Duchesne.
What's that like? Rebels and Duchesne, it seems like almost every year for a lot of years. So how sweet was that to beat the Eagles?
It was actually really nice because my senior year we ended up losing to them in overtime in the state championship game. So junior year it was good to get that win, hold up the trophy.
Cody, we'll talk some more about sports in just a bit, but the interview is called Where Are They Now? So I'll ask you, where are you now?
So my wife and son and I are living in Salt Lake right now. I just started dental school a couple weeks ago at the University of Utah. So that's where we're at right now.
Grandpa Grohl might think differently, but it sounds like you're going into the family business, at least Dad's business.
Yeah. No, Grandpa actually supports and pushes me along, so he tells me not to be a rancher.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's great. And Reed's a great guy. Cody, what got you leaning toward or decided to do dentistry?
To be honest with you, it's not something that I was sure I wanted to do for a long time. I was kind of leaning towards the vet route or the physical therapist route, but I was able to go to Tijuana on a humanitarian dental trip, and it's just something that I fell in love with, being able to help the people and work with my hands all day. It was just something that I learned to love.
I can't think of dentists without thinking about, have you seen the movie Little Shop of Horrors and Steve Martin's role as the dentist?
Oh, yeah.
But you're on the other end. You don't like to torture things and cause pain. You like to help people.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. That's a much better motivation. So you're going to the University of Utah. Were you a Ute fan growing up?
I wasn't. I was a BYU fan, but all that had to change.
So now you bleed red now, or what's going on?
Yeah, I know. I've always bled blue, being from Rich and everything, but just had to change it for a little bit.
Tell me about how you met your wife.
So I actually met my wife through my younger brother, Austin. His fiance at the time introduced me and my wife. She was roommates. They were roommates, so.
And you said you have a son?
I do have a son. He is 5.5 months old, born in March. It's growing.
Man, sounds like you've got your hands full, starting dental school and a 5.5-month-old son.
Yeah, and there's plenty of sleepless nights, whether it's studying or because of babies.
Yeah. Let's get back to Rich High School. What else were you involved with? We talked about football. Anything else that sticks out with football, and what else were you involved with?
I played basketball and ran track and cross country as well. I think one of my biggest memories from high school would probably have to be on the basketball trips. We had so many long basketball trips that we would all get Nintendo DS's and hook them together and play Mario Kart against each other. So we'd have 8 of us and we'd just pass them around. I think that was sometimes more competitive than the games we played in. I mean, obviously some teams definitely weren't as good as what we'd hoped to be playing against, but I feel like back at the time it was Coach Brown. They would distribute the schedule pretty well as far as getting us good games, playing against West Side and playing against Bear Lake throughout the regular season, so we could keep going.
Cody, any other favorite memories as a student at Rich High School or other sports or activities? You mentioned track and field.
Probably from the school-wise, it's something that changed my life. Definitely coming to college and just seeing the education that I was able to get at Rich High School, spending all my days with Mrs. White in the concurrent enrollment. I know she just retired this last year, but spending all the time with her and just learning, and it definitely sets you apart, the education that you get at Rich High School.
Man, that's great. And seeing, a guy like you that comes from Rich High School, the small place, and now you're at the University of Utah, and the education here led you to that. That's awesome.
Yep.
Anything else, Cody, that we haven't touched on, haven't asked about that you think is relevant or essential that we should know about Cody Grohl?
I think that's probably about it. Probably sums me up pretty well. I'm sure other people could tell you more about me than I could about myself.
We might have to ask Dad or Mom to get a little more in-depth.
Exactly.
Or maybe the wife.
Yeah, she could tell you a little bit more too.
I like to close these Mountain Valley Cattle Company Where Are They Now interviews asking you for a prediction on today's game. The Rebels are at home opening the season. It's a border battle. The Bear Lake Bears are in town. What do you think the Rebels will do today against Bear Lake?
I think they're going to go out and start with a win. I think they're going to get them 14-6.
That sounds about like the scores they've had the last couple of years with Bear Lake, a low-scoring defensive battle, and I hope you're right that the Rebels come out on top.
Yeah.
Cody Grohl, a 2011 graduate of Rich High School, thank you so much for your time, Cody. Good luck with your wife, dental school, the baby, and everything else you have going on.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again, Cody, for joining us on Where Are They Now? Brought to you by Mountain Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show, and we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video at my local.
Bring your vehicle for service at Rocky Mountain Yeti and feel the difference. It's easy. Visit with one of the friendly service riders and then relax and enjoy hot waffles and ice cream. While you relax Yeti style, your vehicle will be worked on by our experienced mechanics. From regular maintenance to major repairs, we do it all. Have your service work done at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston and feel the difference. Get Yeti'd today.
Ooh, yeah.
100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Tuned in to Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 and mylocalradio.com. This is Rebel coach Justin Grohl on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Stay tuned in. Kickoff is just 20 minutes away here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. It's a new season under new head coach Justin Grohl, and the Rich Rebels are looking for some new offense. They have not scored an offensive point against Bear Lake in the last 2 years that they've faced the Bears. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Ryan Messerly, and then we'll talk to Rebel head man Justin Grohl and get his thoughts on today's game. We'll be back after this from Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care on this broadcast of Rich Rebel Football on the Wildlife with live streaming video at mylocalradio.com. More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 20 for quality and best practices and critical access. Offering a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. When it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. Ryan STEINECKERT with Ryan Messerly, head coach of the Bear Lake Bears. Coach, a new season. You guys, last year, tell me how you finished. Lost in the quarterfinals, is that right?
Well, last year we ended up losing to Declo in the first round, but they ended up winning state, so it's kind of a bad draw there.
How did you feel about the team last year? You had a lot of seniors.
We did. We had 15 seniors there, and we lost all those guys. So we're young. A lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores. Small senior class this year, but we got some talent that we're gonna work with this year.
Tell me about some of that talent. What do you got?
We do have a returning starter with Joey James. Justin Beck is on the line, and then a lot of these other kids, they've just kind of come up. They've been successful as they're younger kids, and running back we got T. Hagan Criswell, Jackson Garbett, and also Matthew Hammond. So we got three good running backs that we're going to use.
Where do you feel like your program is at? Is it kind of a rebuilding situation or reloading? You feel like you're going to be pretty good this year?
You know, I think we'll be competitive in every game, and so that's really what we're looking forward to, is just taking one game at a time. And as we get better and keep practicing, then we'll make adjustments from there.
This rivalry, this game between you guys and Rich the last couple of years has been real defensive. They beat you here 2 years ago 2-0. Last year you shut them out and you beat them 14-0 at your place.
Yeah, it's been definitely a defensive battle, I think. And I think a lot of times these first games, there's so many adjustments to work out that defense always takes precedence in these. So,
do you expect to change much, or do you change much, I guess is what I should ask, as a coach? Do you change much from year to year based on personnel that you have, the kids that you've got?
In the past we haven't, but this year we have, just because of the lack of seniors that we have. And so we just decided to go with something a little bit different that matched a little bit of our speed and smaller size. So
I'm not asking for any secrets or to tell me what your plays are, but I'm looking over here on the sideline. You got the In-N-Out burger, the Asics, the pizza. You got the Oregon Duck style signs you're going to be hanging up or holding up to call plays. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, we are. We have different formations and different calls, and sometimes we don't change a thing even though we're holding signs up, so we'll see.
That'll be fun. Maybe keep things exciting. You going no huddle some?
Yes. We'll be no huddle from here on out. So
now, if there's any indication of what we're seeing in the JV game, what we'll see in the varsity game, it's been a blowout in the JV game. What are your expectations for the varsity?
I don't know. We've had one jamboree, but other than that, we're looking to put a lot of points on the board, and our defense is pretty stout, so we'll stick with that. So.
And last year, your JV beat Rich's JV. I think it was 16-6. How much stock can you put into that with the guys that are coming back this year?
I hope that they worked hard in the summer, lifted a lot, so we're just going to try to utilize some of that strength and maturity, and we'll see what happens.
Anything else we should touch on, Coach?
I don't think so. Go Bears.
Ryan Messerly, head coach of the Bear Lake Bears. Thanks for your time, and good luck today against Rich and the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Coach Messerly. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff and today's action, and you're tuned into the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Coming up on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show, we'll visit with Rebel head coach Justin Grohl on Rich Rebel Football on Rebel Radio and online at mylocalradio.com.
Many of our customers have trusted Jensen Wood Motors for generations. It's important to all of us here at the dealership we always work for the people. My grandpa was a man of his word, and he passed that tradition on to us. We understand that we're here to serve our customers, and every day we try and do that to the best of our ability. We really appreciate each customer, and we want to make sure that they feel that when they're doing business with us.
Jensen Wood Motors, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Montpelier, Idaho.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
We're back on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show, and in the middle of the coaches show, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. The Rich Rebels and the Bear Lake Bears kick off the season. Both teams are young, having to replace a lot of skill guys and, well, guys on the line, and in other spots, those big uglies, the guys down in the trenches. It'll be interesting to see how these teams come out. Now, the JV game last year, Bear Lake looked pretty good in a win over the Rebels. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Rebel head coach Justin Grohl. More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 20 for quality and best practices and critical access. Offering a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. When it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. Ryan STEINECKERT with new head football coach at Rich High School, Justin Grohl. Justin, a couple of weeks of practice under your belt. First game this Friday. How's it looking?
It's going well. Kids are excited. Their attitudes are really good. They're wanting to try, and they're excited to keep going and see what they can prove this year.
The team, there's some youth, right? I mean, you do have some guys returning that contributed last year. Jared Anderson at quarterback, Kason Trineri caught some passes, ran the ball a few times during the year. But outside of that, last year was a pretty senior-heavy, especially on the skill position.
Yeah, we've only got 3 that really started, Kason being one of them, Jared with the quarterback, and Jaden Nelson at center. Reagan Huffner, he played a little bit, but he didn't get to start most of the time. So we're very inexperienced. We're learning new things. We've shifted it up a little bit, and they're having to learn quite a bit right now. But they're doing well, and they're trying. There's a desire there.
How has it been for you so far as thinking about what kind of offense you want to run, and do you think a lot about who I've got, what players you've got, and then who you're playing and what they do? I mean, there's a lot to juggle there.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. I've spent many, just like any head football coach, you spend many nights just thinking and trying to figure it out. And, who's going to do this, what, and what happens if one guy goes down, or who are we going to split in, and it's just one of those things that all head coaches go through it. There's a lot of sleepless nights, but it's been a fun challenge.
So can we expect any big changes as far as what you might run offensively? And I understand if you don't want to share this right before the first game, but what changes can we expect from new head coach?
Well, we are going to do a lot of similar stuff. Formations are a little bit different. We're going to run some of the same formations as last year. We're just going to spread things out a little bit more. Going to try to pick up the speed a little bit. We're not as big as we haven't been when I've been in the past, and throughout the years we've been very physical, and we're trying to accommodate that. There's some good. We got some people that are fairly strong and stuff, but we want to play smart. So we're gonna spread it out. We're going to try to hurry things up a little bit, try to speed the process up, maybe get some teams tired in the fourth quarter and get some breaks there, So we're going to keep going and speed. That's basically the thing is we're going to speed up the tempo a lot.
I asked about the skill guys, but they really won't get anything done much unless you've got some guys up front. Jaden Nelson is returning as a starter. He's a big, strong kid and athletic. Who else do you have up there that you're going to need to step up and be ready to play at a varsity level?
Well, we're like you said, we're really inexperienced. Rex, he is one that's going to have to step up. There's a couple that have not played. Bridger Weston, he didn't play last year. He plays as a freshman, didn't play last year. And he's learning quite a bit, and he's going to have to step up. We've got Austin Peterson, who has played, but he's probably one of the smaller linemen that you're going to see on any team. And he's stepping up really well. And we've even got some freshmen. We've got a couple freshmen that are going to step up and step in. As of right now, unless things change a little bit different, we'll probably have a freshman starting at one of the tackles or guards, and so we're very inexperienced, but I think they're catching on really, really well, and I think we'll be okay.
Bear Lake, the last 2 years, you guys haven't scored. They've only scored a little bit. You beat them once, you lost to them once. What are your expectations against the Bears this Friday?
I expect a lot of a kind of a slugfest. It's going to be they are a good team. I can't say what they really have because we can only go on the last couple of years. You hear different reports from different people. I don't like to listen to a lot of that because people will come in and say a lot of things, but yet when you step on the field, it could be a totally different team. So you just have to take everything with a grain of salt and take it one day at a time. But I think that they'll be good, and it'll be a slugfest. I hope we come out on top. We need some wins to begin with to get some confidence in these kids.
Coach Justin Grohl, anything else we should touch on?
We're just excited. We want people out. We want the community supporting the kids and excited to come and watch the kids and get that support back, and then the kids feed off that. So if the more people out, the better off we are going to be.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Genuinely appreciate you taking time for me, and good luck this week with Bear Lake.
Thank you so much.
This has been the Coaches Show, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. We're down to crunch time as this thing kicks off in less than 10 minutes. You're tuned in to the Rolling Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet pregame show of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online at My Local.
When it comes to parts and service, don't rely on anyone other than the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. The professional mechanics and parts department team have the experience to help you with whatever you need. When you need to add a winch, get an extra belt or spark plugs, winterize, repair or replace tires, or have a rebuild, they can help. Whatever you need, gift ideas, parts, accessories, or a great mechanic, you'll find it all at Cache Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Some folks say that life can be measured in seasons. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston, we have vehicles for every season. From new to experienced drivers, we understand that safety, affordability, and great mileage are always on the must-have list. So whether you're just starting out or it's time to expand your fleet, we've got every season covered. Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. Stop in today, 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Into the pregame show brought to you by Rolling Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. Coming up, the Laketown Ledger, the Pugstone Sporting Goods Green Scene, Epic Recreation Keys of the game, and the, what else have we got? Starting lineups coming up as well. We're about 15 minutes away from the start of today's game. JV lost 38-10. It ended up being a blowout. It was, I think the Rebels scored first with a safety, but didn't score again until late in the fourth quarter. And the Bears, number 27 was Cody King, a junior. He scored 3 or 4 touchdowns in the game, and Rebels had a hard time bringing him down. Now, I've talked about the Rebels and the guys they graduated, and this is a young Rebel team. It's a similar situation for the Bears. They graduated a quarterback, their running backs, their tight ends, the Peterson or wide receiver guys, Hayden and I think it was Hayden. Hayden and Houston Peterson, both seniors last year, and those were their 2 leading receivers in the game against Rich. McKay Alleman was a senior running back. Avery Carlson was a senior quarterback, and so Bears trying to fill some holes as well. So really tough to say what we're going to get out of today's game. Now, in addition to all that youth and inexperience for both teams, the Rebels a new coach, so guys learning a new system, new terminology, new plays, formations, all that kind of stuff to get used to. And I know talking with Coach Grohl earlier this week, he wished they had a little more time to get all that stuff in place, especially when you consider special teams and everything that has to be in place and ready for today's game. Rebel volleyball team is in action today at the Cokeville tournament. The loss this morning 3-0 against Evanston. Had a close first set, 25-23, but then struggled in sets 2 and 3 to get any offense and lost in 3 straight. Again, kind of a similar story against Mountain View this afternoon. Had a close first set. I think it was 25-22, the final score, and then again not much offense and got beat fairly handily in sets 2 and 3. Rich will take the court again tonight against Preston, and as soon as this football game's over, I'll run up to Preston and bring you that match live here on mylocalradio.com and here on KADQ FM 98.3. Now, usually by that final match of the day, the tournament schedule they get ahead on that tournament schedule. They're supposed to, or they're scheduled to start at 8:30 for the JV match tonight, and so if that's the case, our coverage, our pregame show will start tonight at about 9 o'clock. But make sure to just keep it tuned here to KADQ or watch mylocalradio.com to check out when the Rebels actually get started tonight. It will likely be earlier than what the schedule says, which, again, if they stay on schedule, our coverage will start about 9 o'clock tonight. So that's what's coming up later today. Rebels are out of the locker room and at the midfield mark at 25-yard line. A little Rebel shout, we are Rich. We'll hope that intensity is out there in full strength today. The Rebels are going to have to have that running strong, have some emotion running to start today's season. We've got more of your pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative for Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, coming up when we return here on KADQ. Stay tuned.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Tracing Lots, and you're tuned into Rich High School football on Rebel Radio at mylocalradio.com.
Most of our limits we have in life come from the walls in our own mind. The Town Council and citizens of Lake Town, Utah celebrate all students and staff in the Rich School District. Learning and education will help make that wall in your mind shorter, so it is easier to jump over. We encourage every student to reach their full potential through hard work, continued education, and focus.
Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is Rich County's representative. As a mother and grandmother of Rich High graduates and current students, and a longtime resident of Randolph, Rolene is familiar with your needs and will work to provide you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a new car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Play hard and go Rebels.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Rebels and Bear Lake Bears kicking off the 2018 football season this afternoon at Rich High School. Your pregame show has been brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative for Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. Rebels out, lined up, running through some stretches and getting ready to get this game underway. Let's move along in our pregame coverage with the Pugstone Sporting Goods green scene. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, Pugstones has it all. Pugstones is your Bear Lake all sporting goods shop, now online at pugstonesporting.com. That's Pugstones Sporting, so two S's there in the middle, pugstonesporting.com. A nice afternoon, a bit windy here in Randolph, and boy, if you've been around the northern Utah area or probably anywhere around the west, it's been smoky for the last several weeks, and a little bit smoky today. Not terrible, but there is some smoke out there. Crowd, Bear Lake Bears, it's not too far. It's just on the other side of the lake, so a pretty good amount of fans from Montpelier coming down to watch the game. Rebels will be in the home blues, gray pants, white numbers, and the blue helmets. The Bears in the road whites, gray pants as well, and gray helmets with blue numbers. Here at Rich High School, and the field looks in pretty good condition. This will be the first time that they've had a game on it, of course, with the kickoff of this 2018 season. Currently about 82 degrees, and as I mentioned, breezy, about a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out of the west, almost directly toward the east. That's shifted around a bit today, but shouldn't cause much of an issue. It certainly didn't in the JV game, when the Bears scored 38 points to beat the Rebels 38-10. Overall, a great afternoon of weather for today's football game. That's your green scene, brought to you by Pugstone Sporting Goods. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, Pugstones has it all. On our internet having a little bit of issues here. We'll see if that picks back up just after Casey. Oh, you're still here. It was working extremely well. Now it's going up and down and having issues. So our green scene, yeah, see, we're down. I'm not streaming anything. Up and down a little bit. Trying to work with this internet. We're dropping some frames, probably getting a little bit choppy here. We'll see if, just made an adjustment. We'll see if that fixes things. Seems to have for now. Moving along, our Lake Town Ledger, brought to you by the town of Lake Town. Good luck, Rebels, from the Mayor and Town Council of Lake Town, Mayor Sim Weston, Council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White. So now my records go back to the 2000 season, actually going back to 1985, and I may have missed a time or two that Bear Lake and Rich faced off against each other in football. But all I could find was just the last 2 years. This rivalry got going on the football field, on the gridiron, just 2 years ago. Here at Rich High School, the Rebels got a safety from Kinnan Clark and won 2-0. That was the only scoring in that entire game 2 years ago. Last year, the Rebels at Bear Lake really couldn't get any offense going. Just 117 yards in the entire game offensively. 24 through the air, 93 on the ground, and that was it. No points scored by the offense for Rich in the last 2 years against the Bear Lake Bears, and Rich lost last year 14-0. So 1-1 in the series. The Rebels won 2 years ago. The Bears won last year. That's your Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the town of Laketown. Mayor Sim Weston, council members Dallas Clark, Gary Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White. Moving on to your Epic Recreation Keys of the Game, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. And rent, when you need rentals, whether it be down on the lake, up in the mountains, or whatever it may be in the Bear Lake area, visit epicrecreation.net or find us on Facebook. You can also call Epic Recreation, 435-946-EPIC. That's 435-946-3742. Well, the keys of the game today, TCB on offense. That's take care of business. Combine the last 2 games between Rich and Bear Lake and the Rebel offense. Let me get the keys of the game graphic up here for you if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. If you combine the last 2 games between Rich and Bear Lake, and the Rebel offense has managed fewer points than playoff P did against the Jazz in Game 6 of this year's playoffs. Now, you got to be a Jazz fan to know what Paul George did. Scored just 5 points in the loss. Well, the Rebel offense has scored a big empty donut in the last 2 years against the Bears. Rich won 2 years ago because its defense produced a safety while holding the Bears scoreless. Now, the offense has to produce some points today. We're sure to see some different formations and plays under new coach Justin Grohl, and that should provide an element of surprise. The Rebels have to capitalize on that advantage and take care of business on offense. TCB, take care of business. Execute is number 2 Epic Recreation key of the game. Coach Grohl leads a young and inexperienced group onto the field this afternoon. So, on top of the regular challenges of a rivalry game, you've got a stack of additional challenges the Rebels have to deal with today. A new coach means a new system with new plays, some different terminology, and a different mindset. So this young group with very little varsity experience has to try and pull everything together for the first game of the season. To win today, Rich has to find a way to execute on offense, sustain drives, eat up the clock, put some points on the board, and get it done on defense too. In a single word, on both sides of the ball, the Rebels must execute. And number 3, Rich has to win the turnover battle. Plain and simple, the more turnovers the Rebels have, the lower their chances of winning today. So keep this one close and have an opportunity of starting the season with a W in Coach Justin Grohl's first game as head coach of the Rich Rebel football team. Rich has to win the turnover battle. Those are your keys of the game, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net or find us on Facebook. Let's pause just a moment for station identification. You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3, The Wildlife, and mylocalradio.com.
You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ Evanston.
I want to thank Jordan Bowie back in the studio on the board this afternoon. Again, Rebel Volleyball got the season started this morning with a loss against the Evanston Red Devils. Rich was right there early on. In fact, led 15-8 midway through the first set before Coach Tara Lawler of Evanston called a timeout, and things turned completely around from then on. Evanston went on a 13-2 run and ended up winning that first set 25-23, as Rich did keep it close. And then from there on, Rich struggled, losing the second set 25-8 and set 3 25-15. A similar story against Mountain View this afternoon. Rich lost the first set 25-22 and then lost sets 2 and 3 25-13, I believe, if my source gave me scores correctly. Reagan Huffner, Ander Rex, Jared Anderson, Jaden Nelson, and Kaysen Trineri out as captains at midfield for the coin toss of today's game. We'll keep an eye on that as we get things going here in just a bit. Again, your pregame show has been brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. Here's the toss. Sure, the Bears, as the visiting team, got to call it in the air. Looks like the Rebels won the toss. As Reagan Huffner gets a shoulder pat from the official, from the white cap referee. So the Rebels win and deferred. The Bears will receive on the north half of the field. If you're watching online at mylocalradio.com, That is either to the left side of your monitor. So the Bears will receive. We'll give you the starting lineups and give you the Bears offense. Up front, the offensive linemen are, in no particular order, junior Luke Schwarting, junior Kason Culver, sophomore Cody Wilkin, senior Justin Beck, and senior Briston Schreiber. Quarterback, junior, number 4, Ashton Carlson. Running backs are sophomore Jackson Garbett, junior Tiegan Criswell, and sophomore Matthew Hammond, number 25. Criswell is 15, Garbett, number 11. Wide receivers are number 7, a senior Joey James, and sophomore, number 12, Owen Tusher, who used to live here in Rich County, right? Owen Tusher moved up to Bear Lake not too long ago, and he's as a sophomore starting for the football team, and he's got some height, what is contributing to the Bear Lake basketball team as well. Wish he was still here, I guess, huh? The Rebels starting defense. Defensive ends are senior Ander Rex and Reagan Huffner. Defensive tackles are seniors Jaden Nelson and Leo Spuler. Outside linebackers are Stetson Hufker, a junior, and senior Trayson Lutz. And middle linebackers are junior Colton Hislop and senior Colton Meek. Cornerbacks, junior Kyler Wilson, Jared Anderson, senior, and free safety is number 5, Landon Hunting for the Rich Rebels. It's time for the national anthem. So we'll take one more quick break and be back with the Bear Lake Physical Therapy Kickoff right after this.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Trayson Lutz, and you're tuned into Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio at mylocalradio.com.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Deeds, and you're watching Rich High School Football at Rebel Radio. KADQ FM, 98.3, mylocalradio.com.
According to the United States Census of 2010, the town of Randolph has a population of 464 people, and every one of us root for the Rich High Rebels.
Who slams it home?
Welcome to Randolph, Utah. We love being able to host the visiting teams, their coaches, their parents, and fans when Rich High has a home game. We love all of our visitors year-round and hope that you can take some time soon to come and visit us in our little slice of heaven, Randolph, Utah.
Welcome back to Rebel Football. Dylan Negus running my camera. That's a familiar name for Rebel fans who've listened or watched the games online. Dylan's been helping us out the last couple of years for running the camera, and it's a tough job because you got to look up high. You can't see it very well, right? Good thing you're a little taller. You grew over the summer, didn't you, Dylan? Yeah, Dylan's like 6 feet tall now. All right, Negus growing up a bit. The Rebels send the kickoff team out, and we're just about underway. Our kickoff is brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. Cam Jarman has been patrolling the sidelines for a bunch of the last years. I see one of his boys, Mitch, out here today as well. McKay married, Nick on a mission, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mitch just got home from the mission and couldn't miss patrolling the sideline of the Rich Rebel football games. Looks like Rebels will have Stetson Huffaker do the kicking duties. Bears will get it to start this first quarter. Brought to you by the Crawford Trough, the place to eat and drink. And keep this in mind, folks, after the game tonight, stop in. The Crawford Trough is open after every Rebel home game. I'm going to pick up a Crawford Angus burger. It's got pastrami, bacon, cheese. It sounds delicious. That's my dinner coming up. Here's the Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. It's a low line drive, fielded at the 15, up to the 20, 25, straight ahead, stopped at the 30. Wrapped up Matthew Hammond with about a 16-yard return. And on the tackle, Leo Spuler. The Rebels starting defensive tackles. The Bears attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com, and we are underway in this football game. The Bears from their own 31-yard line, a 1st and 10. Man in motion, Criswell He gets the pitch out to the left side and has nowhere to go. Coming up to stop Criswell behind the line was Reagan Huffner, it looked like. And the Rebels stuff it. So Criswell goes backwards 2 yards. Good start for that Rebel defense. They're going to need to be solid today. Handoff up the middle, and Matthew Hammond breaks a tackle or two, picks his way forward out across the 34, but not much beyond that. That's a 5-yard gain for Hammond. Brings up a 3rd down and, well, make more like a 4-yard gain. They mark it at the 33. No huddle offense for the Bears. Allman in the shotgun. No, that's Carlson in the shotgun, excuse me. Pitch out to the left side, and a little bit of room to run, but stood up and dropped down at the 36 is running back Jackson Garbett, the sophomore. Looked like he had a big hole, but it was closed in a hurry. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain for Garbett. Landon Hunting with the stop, and the Bears are forced into a punting situation. Kyler Wilson and Landon Hunting back deep to return for Rich. It's a low snap, but it pulled up off the turf. A low, short punt. Takes a Bears bounce and goes out of bounds at about the Rebel 18. So what didn't look like a very good punt ended up being a pretty good one, and Rich will take over. 1st and 10. First quarter. 10 minutes, 13 seconds left to go. This first quarter, again, is brought to you by the Crawford Trough, open after every Rebel home game. It's here in Randolph. It's the place to eat and drink. From the right hash, in the shotgun, Jared Anderson. And Spuler has to head to the sideline, and Rich with one extra man out there after the huddle. Anderson calls for the snap, brings a man in motion. That was Huffner in motion. Give up the middle. No, Anderson kept it himself around the left side. Some room to run to the 20, 25, around the corner to the 30, 35, and he's upended out at the 38-yard line. A big gain for the Rebels. It's a 20-yard gain on Anderson. For Anderson up to the left hash mark. The Rebels move the chains. A comprehensive family dental first down brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl. Again, Huffner in motion from right to left. Anderson gives the handoff this time up the middle. Not much room to run for Colton Hislop. He gets out to the 40, fought his way to that spot, a 2-yard gain. Tackle by Luke Schwarting of the defense, the Bears. No score on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Rebels with their first possession of the game. 9:50 left in this Crawford Trough first quarter. Trineri wide to the right. Anderson in the shotgun. Pistol formation with Hislop behind him. 2 men on the left side. Colton Meek goes in motion, and Anderson takes the snap, gives up the middle to Hislop, and he picks up a couple out near the 42, going off the right side. Hislop with 2 carries for 4 yards. And Rich faces a 3rd down and 6. Ball near the left side hash. Rebels attacking right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Anderson again in the shotgun. Hislop behind him in the pistol. Meek in motion left to right. High snap. Anderson pulls it down, collides with Hislop, and there's all kinds of pressure. Anderson goes down finally well after the whistle. I think they'll spot this clear back near the 35-yard line, as that snap was so high and then so much pressure got in there. They'll actually spot it at the 37, so a loss of 5. We'll call that a sack. Will lead to a punting situation for the Rebels. So one comprehensive first down, comprehensive family dental first down on that drive. High snap goes over the head of Huffaker. He'll go back, chase it down. It's still on the ground. He's pushed in the back, and the ball's still loose. A scrum for it. The referee comes in and signals Bear Lake football. So that gives the Bears some excellent field position. So Bears will take over on the Rebel Boy, down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Boy, and that's not what you need to do against a quality team like the Bears. Give them this kind of field position. That's a gift. Carlson in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. Pitches or gives up the middle. Room to run inside the 5. And Hammond brought down just shy of the goal line. But Hammond got down to about the 2. Give him 6 yards on the carry. 2nd and goal. Here's the snap. Give again to Hammond. They looked like they were going right, went left instead, and Hammond is shot down maybe half a yard. So a 3rd and goal, right about the 2-yard line for the Bears. Trying to take advantage of a high snap that gave Bear Lake the ball at the Rebel 10. Here's the snap. Carlson bobbles it, pulls it in, throws to his left, and Stetson Huffaker picks it off at the 10 to the 15, 20. He's hit down and dropped at the 24. Huffaker was out there in his defensive position. There was some pressure on Carlson, plus he was bobbling the football, and those combination of the pressure and the bobble of the football led to a Rebel interception. Stetson Huffaker gives the Rebels the football. 1st and 10 with 7:25 left in the first quarter. Rich from their own 24-yard line. High snap. Anderson pulls it down, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and dives up the middle to the 30. Brought down by Teagan Criswell. But Anderson takes it straight up the middle out to the 31-yard line. A 7-yard gain. Anderson with 2 carries for 27 yards so far in this game. Jared again from the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Ball right in the middle of the field at the 31. Rebel own 31-yard line with 6:50 left first quarter. Meek in motion. Henderson takes the snap, steps back, looks to throw. A lot of pressure. He's hit from behind. Ball squirts free, and it's a 2nd turnover of the game for the Rebels. Anderson hit from behind by Teagan Criswell, and Rich gives it up for a 2nd time to the Bears, deep in their own territory. They'll spot this football. That was a short possession, less than 40 seconds, 6:43 left here in this first quarter, and the Bears take over at the Rebel 26-yard line. Carlson in the shotgun, Criswell in motion, pitch out to the left side, and he's forced back in, then cuts back to the outside, room to run, breaks around the corner, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown. No flags on the play, and Teagan Criswell goes 26 yards for the touchdown. Rebels, 2 possessions. It looked like they had some things going on both those possessions, but just couldn't hold on to the football. A high snap gave the Bears the football deep in the Rebel territory, and then a fumble gives it to them again. Extra point kick attempt. Owen Tusher to kick. Ashton Carlson holds. Tusher just gets it up over the defense, and it's good. So the PAT good. Bears lead 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard here in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Colton Meek, and you're tuned in to Rich High School football on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
If you haven't eaten a famous Crawford Angus burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph, you haven't lived. It starts with a 1/4 pound Angus beef, pastrami, bacon, pepper jack cheese, and ranch sauce. Add lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and pickles. The only thing that makes it better is when you add an order of home-cut fries and a fresh raspberry shake. Heaven. Stop and enjoy a burger today. The Crawford Trough, open late after every Rich High School home game. 120 South Main, Randolph.
Rich fumbled the ball at their own 31-yard line. Bears recovered it at the 26, and just one play later, Teagan Criswell on his 2nd carry of the day goes 26 yards around the left end. The containment was there. He was forced back up the middle, but then made a quick move back to the outside. And that was all she wrote. Teagan Criswell with the 26-yard touchdown run, extra point kicked through. Bears one play, 26 yards, lead 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. 6:33 left, first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Rebels on the wrong end of 2 turnovers. When they're on the other end, it's their Station and Randolph turnovers. Rich would really like to answer on this drive with a pro physical therapy touchdown. Physical therapist Dr. Dallas Clark brings those to us if we can get one. Bears set to kick off. Back deep to return. Kason Trineri and Kyler Wilson. A short kick, almost like a squib, tipped and then picked up by Wilson at the 28. And he doesn't have much room out to about the 31. We'll give Wilson a 4-yard return. Looks like they'll spot it right about the 32. First quarter, 6:26. That possession for the Bears, that last touchdown possession, lasted just about 10 seconds is all. Rich trails 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Ball on the left hash. Again, that spread formation, pistol with Hislop behind Anderson. In the shotgun, takes the snap, turns, fakes the handoff, throws. He's got Huffner, but threw it short behind him and trapping the catch. Was it a catch, an interception? It was down on the ground, and Teagan Criswell dove to it, but it looked to me like it hit the ground first, and I think that's what the officials say as well. So Anderson dodges a bullet and has not completed a pass yet to neither team. That's the good thing so far, since that throw was behind Huffner, he had a couple of steps on his defender out in that right flat. 2nd down and 10 for the Rebel offense. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Anderson again in the shotgun. Ball in the left hash, takes the snap, looks to throw, fakes, now throws deep and may have been hit as he throws. Huffner stopped and tried to come back. Anderson's throwing motion was disrupted. He couldn't get it as deep as he wanted to. Again, Huffner had a couple of steps on his defender, but trying to come back couldn't stop quick enough. Anderson 0 for 2. Rebels 0 for 2 on the passing game and face a 3rd and 10. It was an out and up. Huffner went out. Anderson gave the ball fake and just didn't quite have enough time to get off the long pass attempt. Huffner, the slot back on the right side, or the slot receiver, trips to the right. 1 man left is Landon Hunting. Anderson from the shotgun takes the snap, drifts to his left, looks to throw, heaves it up high in the air. It's a wounded duck, and it's picked off. Anderson hit as he threw, and Matthew Hammond was in position. Hunting was open down the field, but Hammond was there for the pick. So each team has 1 interception. Anderson would like to try that one again. I guarantee he can make a better throw than that. Just in trying to give it everything he had and heave it down the field, he misfired. So the Bears from the Rebel 45 pitch it out left side. Criswell, a flag flies in from behind as Criswell is shut down on the left sideline, the Bears sideline. The flag comes down right about the line of scrimmage at the 47 and is likely a hold or block in the back, a hold. Do the Rebels accept it and make it 1st down and 22? Would be the first penalty of the game. Now, if they didn't accept it, it would have been 2nd and 12. They'll spot it back to the 48-yard line. Bears in their own territory. So the Bears pushed back to their own 43. Snap, looking left, going right, and Colton Meek is there to shut it down. Nowhere to go for Jackson Garbett. There's a lot of misdirection and counter action going on for the Bears in these plays, and Garbett has nowhere to go. A flag flies, and it's an illegal procedure if the Rebels could just decline that one, that looks like Coach Smith and Coach Grohl are both saying, no, we don't want that penalty. Let's make it 2nd and 22, not 1st and 27. Generally, illegal procedure is a dead ball penalty. The play occurred. The official says, yeah, they were going to assess the penalty. So 5 yards further back to the 39, and that's only 4 yards back, guys. The line of scrimmage was the 43, minus 5 yards should be the 38. Carlson steps back, looks to throw, and Wilson with a nice play. Saw the defense, saw the ball coming, and jumped over and around Criswell to knock it incomplete. Both teams struggling on their passing game. It's not going through on the radio. Yeah. Hey, Jordan, if you're listening back in the studio, just confirm for me that we're on the radio on KADQ. Thanks. A 2nd down. And 27. Carlson goes deep, and it's almost caught, but a hit at the last second by Hunting. The timing fantastic as Carlson was throwing deep for Joey James. He had it in his hands, but Hunting came in with the hit and knocked the ball free. That saved a long catch and what would have been a 1st down. That brings up 3rd and 27. 27 yards to go for the 1st down. Carlson in the short shotgun sends Criswell in motion. Steps back, looking to throw. Meek pressures. Carlson runs to his right. Still running. Now throws way short. And it's better that way for the Bears. If he completed that one or been sacked or run out of bounds, it would have been a huge loss. I just got confirmation that we are live and on the air. Thank you, AJ. So Carlson 0 for 4 on the day. And 0 for 3 on this drive leads to a punting situation for the Bears, leading 7-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. 5:12 left in this first quarter. We've already had as many possessions in this first quarter, the first 7 minutes, as we generally have in an entire half last year. As both teams are running some no huddle and quicker pace. A low snap, but again, a nice line drive kick. Fair catch called for, and Wilson makes the fair catch at the Rebel 30. Rich has had 3 possessions. One ended in a punt, then they fumbled and threw an interception. That's part of that turnover battle. We've had one station in Randolph turnover. Here for your convenience needs, Stephen Huffaker picked off a Ashton Carlson pass. Rich from their own 30-yard line. Still in the first quarter. 5:06 left in this Crawford Trough first. Anderson from the shotgun, quick throw out to his left or to his right. He's got Huffner, and Reagan makes the catch. Can't squirm away from Criswell, the defender, and a short gain for Huffner. Mark it out at the 32. A 2-yard gain. Huffner with his first catch of the season. 2nd down and 8 for the Rebel offense. They huddle up, come up to the line of scrimmage, ball on the right hash. Rebels attacking right to left at mylocalradio.com. That's south to north here at Rich High School. Again, pistol formation, 3 receivers on the short side of the field. Meek comes in motion to the left side. Anderson throws over the middle. He had Meek. It was tipped, and Meek makes an interception-saving hit as James Alleman came up, had the ball in his hands. But Meek, what a quick reaction when the ball went through his hands and just about into the hands of Alleman. Well, it was in his hands, but Meek laid the hit on him, and Alleman didn't hold on. So the Rebels avoid another giveaway with that hit. And it's 3rd and 8. Rebels trailing 7-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. 4:13 left here in this first quarter. Kyler Wilson wide to the left. Meek, Huffner, and Trineri wide on the right side. Hislop behind Anderson in the pistol. Meek in motion, fake the handoff there. Anderson looks right, keeps it himself. Up the middle, he's close to first down territory, out near the 39. He needed the 40, so he'll be 1.5 yards short. Anderson picks up about 7. He's got 3 carries for 34 yards in the game, but just hasn't had a lot of carries. So a 4th and 1 will put the Rebels in what's likely a punting situation. We'll see if they get brave and go for it, and it looks like they will. Back deep, Joey James still back, ready to receive the punt. If the Rebels can get something off quick, they may have a bit of an advantage, at least a one-man advantage. Going for it on 4th and 1. Anderson takes the snap, gives up the middle. Hislop upended, and he is not going to get the first down. Jackson Garbett with good penetration into the backfield, and Hislop gets no gain on the play, and Rich turns it over on downs. Bears take it over from the Rebel 39-yard line. 3:06 left in the Crawford Trough first quarter. Carlson in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That's Garbett. Then rethinks the play call. Garbett steps up to the line of scrimmage. And a flag flies in. This is going to be it's not a delay of game. It would have come from that back line judge, or the back judge, but the line judge is the man that threw the flag, and it may be an illegal shift is what I would guess here. The referee discussing it with his line judge. 2:52 left in the Crawford Trough first quarter. Rebels a bit inconsistent offensively, and they've turned it over on a fumble and interception, turnover on downs. Wave the flag off, and we'll just line up and do it again. First down it remains for the Bear Lake Bears, leading 7-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. A 26-yard run by Teagan Criswell. He gets the pitch. No, that's Hammond with the pitch right side. And he breaks free. He's down to the 20, to the 10, and finally caught by Landon Hunting inside the 10. He got some good good blocking around the outside. And again, containment was there, and as he cut up, he had lots of room up the middle. Matt Hammond, prior to that carry, had 3 carries for 6 yards. That one goes from the Rebel 39 all the way down to the Rebel 4, a 35-yard run. Carlson, again from the shotgun. Hammond on his right hip, takes the snap. Hammond starts right, goes back left, gets the handoff, and he is stuffed and laid out, driven back to the 10. Forward progress ought to spot at about the 7 or the 8. Jaden Nelson and I believe Leo Spooler in on the tackle. So Hammond goes back 3 yards. 2nd down and goal from the 8. And in motion is Criswell. He gets the pitch around the left side. Rebels force him back in. He breaks one tackle, and then a gang of Rebels are there. Again, Spuler, Nelson, and a handful of other Rebels in on the tackle. Add Colton Meek to that gang. And Criswell goes backwards 2 more yards. Third and goal. Carlson back looking to throw. He's got his man caught by Criswell at the goal line. Ball pops loose at the last second. They'll say his knee was down at the 1. He doesn't score, so a 4th and goal down at the 1-yard line. Criswell with the catch, and it's 4th and goal at the 1. Bears looking to add to their lead. Here's the snap. Carlson fakes left, fakes right, gives left to Criswell, and he's stuffed. Not happening in basketball. Rasheed Wallace would say ball don't lie. I don't know if that applies in football. Is that there was some controversy on that last play. Was it a catch? Was it a fumble? Was it neither? Either way, the Rebels stuff the play. drop Criswell back at the 2, but this is a dangerous spot as Rich takes over on downs from their own 2, own 3. First quarter still, 39.4 seconds left in this Trafford-Croft first. Anderson from the shotgun. Got to get this thing out of the end zone. Bears showing pressure. Rich gives it to Hislop. Left side, breaks a tackle at the line, and he leaps over defenders, and he's knocked down at the 10. A flag flies in after the whistle as Hislop got out to about the 8, I think is where they'll mark it. And we'll see what this flag is. The flag was clear out at the 6. I don't think the Rebels had any offensive linemen that far out. Personal foul on the Rebels. No indication of more than that. They may have said it and I didn't hear it. So assessed after the play, half the distance to the goal. So we'll give Hislop the 6-yard gain. The penalty ends up being a 4.5, about 4-yard penalty back to the 4-yard line, and it should be second down from the 4-yard line. A whistle, flag flies in from the far side, the right side, the Rebel offensive right side sideline, side judge. And this may be an illegal procedure. Rebels had not committed a penalty in the game prior to this this possession, and suddenly 2 penalties in 2 successive plays. That neither of them marched off to their full potential. Just 4 yards on the personal foul, 2 yards on the illegal procedure. Anderson back in the end zone, throws left side. He's got Trineri breaks a tackle. He's out to the 10, spins out to the 15-yard line. That gets the Rebels out of the end zone and moves the chains as time expires in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. Rich has it 1st and 10 from their own 15 when we return on the Wildlife, Rebel football on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Bring your vehicle for service at Rocky Mountain Yeti and feel the difference. It's easy. Visit with one of the friendly service riders and then relax and enjoy hot waffles and ice cream. While you relax Yeti style, your vehicle will be worked on by our experienced mechanics. From regular maintenance to major repairs, we do it all. Have your service work done at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston and feel the difference. Get Yeti'd today.
Ooh, yeah.
100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
They'll spot that last gain out to the 14-yard line. That is a comprehensive Family Dental first down, second of the ball game for the Rich Rebel offense. Second quarter is brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. So that's a 12-yard pass and catch. Most of the work done by Kason Trineri after the catch. He made some nice moves. Anderson 2 of 6, 14 yards with a pick so far in this game. Rebels needing some offense with the scoreboard, with the Bears on top 7-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Bears have not taken advantage of some excellent field position at least 3 or 4 times down inside the Rebel 10. Anderson fakes the handoff up the middle, pitches out left to Huffner. He's got blockers to the 20, 25, and upended. First down will move the chains again. No Laundry on the field, and Huffner with the big gain. Spotted out at the 28-yard line. And that's a 14-yard gain for Reagan Huffner on the pitch. And that had the Bears guessing about where the football was going. They'll actually spot it out at the 29. Make sure to give that extra yard to Huffner, a 15-yard gain. Huffner, the slot receiver on the right side. Anderson from the shotgun. Quick wide receiver screen. He's got Trineri outside the 30 to the steps in past the defender at the 35, out near the 40-yard line. And the Rebel offense, knock on wood, is starting to hum. That's another comprehensive Family Dental first down to the 39-yard line. Anderson, 3 of 7 for 24 yards. Trineri with 2 receptions for 22. Football on the right hash as the Rebels attack in the second quarter, left to right. That's north to south at Rich High School and on mylocalradio.com. Trips to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Reagan Huffner comes in motion. Anderson takes the high snap, pulls it out and keeps it himself, and breaks a tackle out around the outside to the 40, dives forward, picks up about 4, and that was a good read by Anderson as the defensive end crashed in on the fake handoff to Hislop. Anderson kept it himself, went around the left edge for a 5-yard gain to the 44. Anderson with 39 carries on 39 yards on 4 carries. The biggest was that 20-yard carry, his first of the game. A 2nd and 5 for Rich with 2 receivers left, 2 outright. Anderson again from the shotgun. Hislop behind him in the pistol. Jared fakes the throw left side, then lobs it deep down the right sideline. Looking for Trineri. He's tripped up a couple of times from behind. Picked off by Criswell, but a flag flies in, and this will surely be a pass interference. Negate the interception. Trineri was trying to come back to the football, and Criswell just kept pushing and getting himself in position for it. It was a jump ball, but the offense has the right to get to that ball, and that should be a pass interference. There's some discussion between the officials, and it may be that's a jump ball. It's a 50-50. It's up there, but in reality, the offense has a little more right to it than the defense does, so we'll see what they call here. The flag down at the Bears' 28-yard line, and they're taking the football back to the Rebel line of scrimmage. If the interception were to stand, they would have kept it right where it was. There also is a penalty at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Roughing the passer on the offense? No, on the defense. There you go. And a pass interference on the defense. That one's declined. Rebels will accept the roughing the passer because that's a personal foul. So that's a 15-yard penalty and a first down. 17, that's 32 yards in penalties against the Bears. That's a 4th first down of the drive for the Rebels into Bear Lake territory at the 42. Another comprehensive Family Dental first down brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl, quality family dentistry since 1998. Huffner in motion from the left side to the right. Give up the middle to Hislop. He'll break 1 tackle, break another, and then get back to the line of scrimmage, wrapped up from behind and has nowhere to go. Christian Zabriskie, the senior, some very good penetration for the Bears, and Hislop actually ends up losing a yard. Rebel running game has been mostly Anderson, 39 yards on the ground. Hislop with 9 yards on 5 carries. Reagan Huffner 1 carry for 15 yards. At the 38-yard line, the 43-yard line, a 2nd down and a long 10. Rebels trailing 7-0. Anderson, high snap, fakes left, gives right, and some room to run for Colton Meek, upended inside the 35, near a first down. A lot of misdirection from this Rebel offense that the Bears just are not prepared for. All the way down to the 34. And that brings up a 3rd down and short. Colton Meek goes for 8 yards on that carry. Make it 9 for Meek on the carry. His first of the game. Rebels trailing 7-0, 9:20 left here in this T7 Propane and Woodruff second quarter. Meek, Huffner, and Trayson Lutz on the right side. Hunting comes in motion from the left. It's an all stack to the right. Anderson keeps it himself, breaks 1 tackle, then dives across inside the 30 to move the chains. Another comprehensive Family Dental first down. Anderson was not going to be denied on that carry. There was some pressure in the backfield, but he was able to sidestep would-be tacklers, got down to the 30, a 4-yard gain. and another comprehensive family dental first down. But Rebels knocking on the door, looking for that pro physical therapy touchdown on this drive. A 1st and 10, ball right in the middle of the field at the 30. Anderson, shotgun, takes the snap, throws over the middle for Trenary. May have been deflected, and Trenary dives out, can't haul it in. And Jared led him just a little bit too far, trying to touch past that over the middle. Good effort by Trenary, but just couldn't quite make the catch. 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped at 8:51 left here in this second quarter. Hislop behind Anderson, again in the pistol. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Jared takes the snap, looks left, throws for Huffner, yeah, and the ball in and out of his hands. Criswell with some tight coverage. And this one popped out incomplete. Anderson 3 of 9 for 24 yards and a pick on the day. And that brings up a 3rd down and 10. Rebels on the Bears' 30-yard line. Bear Lake scored first quarter at the 6:26 mark, a 26-yard run by Tiegan Criswell. They've also been down inside the Rebel 10-yard line a couple other times. Stetson Huffaker picked off a pass one of those times, and they turned it over on downs another time at the 2. 3rd and 10. Trenary in motion. Anderson fakes the handoff to Trenary, keeps it himself up the middle, breaks a tackle, and then dives inside the 25. That makes a 4th and manageable should the Rebels decide to go for it here. That may have been just what Coach Grohl was thinking. Let's pick up 6 or 7 and make it a 4th and short. Anderson picks up 6 and has 49 yards rushing in the game. Ball at the 25 for a 4th and 5. A little less than 5. They need just outside the 20 to move the chains. Clock running with 7-0 lead for the Bears on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. I'm going to zoom this in just a touch. Dylan Negus running my camera. Anderson in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 2 out left. Hislop in the back, in the pistol behind Jared. Man in motion is Landon Hunting. Fake the handoff to him. Jared keeps it himself. Sidesteps one tackler. Breaks another. Dives forward and looks like he'll be just short. A good effort, and he's close. He needed 5. I think he picked up 4, depending on where they spot it. And almost certainly is a turnover on downs. Yeah, he didn't even quite make the 21-yard line. So 3 yards on the carry for Anderson to the 22, and a turnover on downs. Nice long drive for the Rebels, but ends in a turnover on downs. 7:46 left in the second quarter. And a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one as well. Bears leading 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Colton Meek, and you're tuned in to Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
Propane is a byproduct of 2 processes, natural gas processing and petroleum refining. About 90% of U.S. propane is domestically produced and stored in huge salt caverns, which can store 80 million barrels or more of this gas. This quality product is shipped by pipeline, truck, ship, and barge until it reaches T7 Propane in Woodruff. From there, it gets to your home or ranch for your convenience and comfort. Call T7 Propane. Get set up for regular propane deliveries so you don't run out. T7 Propane in Woodruff.
That last drive for the Rebels ended up in a turnover on downs, but it was a 13-play drive that started at their own 3-yard line after they'd forced a turnover on downs, got all the way down to the Bears' 22. That's 75 yards, but come up empty-handed. They'll see how the Rebel defense can bounce back after the turnover on downs. That's 2 turnovers on downs for the Rebel offense. And defense needs to come up with a stop here as Rich trails. Still just 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. The Bears have a big play offense. Their one score was a 26-yard touchdown run by Tiegan Criswell in that first quarter. Pitch out to the right side. Ball pops free. Anderson is on it. Did he pull it in? He did. The pitch was out to Tiegan Criswell, and he got popped by, I think, Trayson Lutz right as he received the pitch. So I'm going to give Trayson Lutz the forced fumble recovery to Anderson. And Rich takes over in Bear Lake territory at the 22-yard line. Their best field possession of the day by far, 7:41, a 5-second possession for the Bears. That's good if you're the Rebel offense. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Ball on the right hash. Rebels at the 22 of Bear Lake. Snap to Anderson, right on target. Jared steps up away from the pressure, squirts out to the right side, and is able to scramble forward and make something out of what would have been a 5 or 8 yard loss. Anderson able to break a tackle or two, and he's looking more comfortable back there by the minute. Gets down inside the 20. Looks like they'll spot it at the 18. The official initially started to put it at the 19, but then down to the 18. Anderson up to 56 yards rushing on 8 carries as he was forced out of the pocket. Trips to the right side. 1 receiver left. Meek goes in motion to the left. Anderson takes the snap, gives to Meek, keeps it himself, dives ahead, and he follows his block down near the 15. Anderson ran into Hislop after he faked the handoff to him. Jaden Nelson also up in front of Anderson leading the way. And Jared picks up a few. They spot it at the 17-yard line, so that's actually just a 1-yard gain. Brings up a 3rd and 5 for the Rebel offense. 7 minutes left in the second quarter, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Make sure to stay tuned for our T-Bar-S Body Shop halftime show, including some Rich County first half highlights. Anderson, 2 receivers left, 2 out right. Jared steps back, throws over the middle. He's got Trenary, first down and a little more at the 10 on the pass over the middle, caught by Trenary. And Kaysen was hit pretty quickly, but made the grab. Kaysen was not planning on playing football as of last spring. Changed his mind, and he makes the catch there for 7 yards and a comprehensive family dental first down. 3 catches, 29 yards for Trenary, and the Rebels move the chains. A 1st and goal just inside the 10. Rebels trailing 7-0, looking to equalize. Anderson from the shotgun, looks left, lobs it up into the back of the corner, got his man caught, touchdown Reagan Huffner, but a flag flies down as 2 Bear Lake Bears end up on the ground. I think Trayson Lutz is going to be called for an offensive pass interference. I think the design was a cross out there in the end zone, and Lutz just got mixed up, but not necessarily mixed up with guys. I don't think it was his mix-up. It was a tight space with 4 guys in it, and the Rebels come out on the wrong end of that pass interference. So 6:25 left in the second, and the Rebels are pushed back to the 25-yard line. A 15-yard penalty. Let's see how the Rebel offense responds. Anderson, 4 of 10 for 31 yards through the air with 1 pick. Ball on the right hash. Huffner and Trenary on the right side. Meek and Wilson on the left side. Hislop behind Anderson. Jared steps back, looking to throw, steps up, throws deep for Trenary. Kaysen dives at the pylon and can't quite make the catch. That throw was, boy, if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss, just a little bit long where only Trenary can catch it, and Kaysen just couldn't quite get to it. What a great effort, though. That brings up a 2nd down and goal from the 25-yard line. Ball on the right hash, and the Rebels trailing. Again, we've gone back and forth, a number of turnovers. Rebels have turned it over on downs, thrown an interception, and lost a fumble. The Bears have thrown an interception, lost a fumble, and turned it over on downs as well. One difference is the field position. Anderson with 3 receivers right, steps back, setting up the screen. He's got Hislop, turns to his right, and they had a wall of blockers, and they all missed just Tiegan Criswell, who makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was unfortunate, because if one guy slows down or pushes Criswell out away from the defense, that's a big gain for Hislop. He had everybody, the Bears' defensive line, all fell for that screen. So 4 or 5 guys chasing Anderson. And so that screenplay that was set up nicely but not quite executed as nicely ends up in no gain, and Rich faces a 3rd and goal at the Bears 25. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Hislop again behind Anderson, the pistol. Jared steps back, looks to throw, flushed out of the pocket to his left. He makes some time for himself, throws to the sideline looking for Meek, and just in the front corner of the end zone, a bit short. Meek, well, I should say thrown a little too far out in front of where Meek could get to it. And again, Anderson, you hate to see those passes fall incomplete. Better incomplete than thrown too far to the middle and picked off, especially on a throw like that. There's a lot of green in front of a defender if they intercept a pass right there. Trips to the left side on a 4th and goal at the Bears 25-yard line. Rebels, Anderson steps back looking to throw, again set up the screen. He's got Hislop, and this time the Bears see it coming. Justin Beck reads it well and stops. He started his rush, then he stopped. He saw that happening, turned, and brought Hislop down at the 25-yard line. Rebels with a 3rd turnover on downs in the ball game. Bears from their own 25. 2nd quarter, 4:52. Left to go in this T7 Propane and Woodruff 2nd quarter. Bears send Garbett in motion. Carlson throws out to his left side, and he's got his man on the sideline, out to the right side, I should say, caught by Joey James. Kyler Wilson thought he had a play and stepped in front of the defender. The ball sailed just over his fingertips, and Carlson with a perfect delivery out to the 45-yard line, a 20-yard gain. Joey James with his first reception of the day. 20-yard pass and catch gives the Bears a first down at their own 45-yard line. Carlson brings Criswell in motion, gives up the middle, and Hammond is stuffed into the backfield quickly. It was Colton Hislop for the tackle. A loss of 2 on the play. Back to the 43. And Hammond, outside of his 135-yard run, he's got just one rushing yard between some losses and some short gains. Carlson steps back, quick out to the left side. James makes the catch, breaks a tackle, but Stetson Huffaker's there to help clean up immediately. Out across midfield, just beyond the 50-yard line. About an 8-yard gain for the Bears on that 2nd down. They'll spot it right at midfield, so a 7-yard gain. Stetson Huffaker on the tackle. Huffaker, Dale. 3rd down and 5. Carlson from the shotgun, steps back, looks to throw, lobs it out, and it's caught. That's enough for the first down on the left sideline. Trineri made a quick hit on Owen Tusher with the catch at the 42-yard line. That's an 8-yard gain. Tusher with his first catch of the day. Bears have found some success in the passing game. Carlson threw an interception and missed on all 4 of his first 4 attempts, but since then he's 4 for 4 for 43 yards. In the backfield, Criswell gets the handoff. Huffner slices in and brings him down back at the 45, a loss of a few yards. Criswell, they'll give him the forward procedure at the 44-yard line, a loss of 2. And Criswell had a 26-yard touchdown run in the game, but his total rushing yards are 23 in this game. Outside of a couple of big plays, the Rebels defense has kept the Bears in check. Up the middle, Carlson hands off. Hammond finds some room. They fake outside and go inside, up the middle, and Hammond gets it all the way down inside the 40 to the 37. A 7-yard gain for Hammond. So a 3rd down and 5 for this Bear Lake offense. 3 minutes left in the T7 Propane in Woodruff second quarter. Carlson brings Criswell in motion from right to left. Long snap, or long count. Steps back. Criswell steps up to the line. Trips on the left side. They all check their wristbands. Criswell goes back in motion to his spot on the field. The back judge just starts to count out the 5 seconds as Carlson receives the snap, throws, and it's intercepted. Trayson Lutz with the interception. Saw that play coming, stepped in front, and Lutz, the right outside linebacker for the Rebel defense, has an interception, the second interception for this Rebel defense today. That's a Station in Randolph turnover. Here for your convenience needs, the Station in Randolph. Rebels at their own 31, second quarter, 2:32 left to go in this T7 second quarter. 2 receivers right, 2 out left. Anderson from the shotgun takes the snap, fakes a throw, and then lobs it over the middle, looking for Kyler Wilson. He's tripped from behind. A flag flies in there, and there's a flag down where Anderson was in the backfield. That may be a holding or a roughing the passer. Pass interference for sure, as Wilson had a beat on it and then was tripped from behind. He comes off the field limping a little bit. There's also a flag in the backfield that may have been a roughing the passer. We'll see. The officials discuss. That stops the clock at 2:26. Pass interference on the defense. Rebels decline that one, and an illegal hit to the head. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down, and set the Rebels up at their own 46-yard line. Comprehensive Family Dental first down. That's 47 yards in penalties against the Bears. Rebels need to take advantage of it. Trayson Lutz wide to the right side as Wilson came off the field limping after that pass interference. Looks like it may be a cramp as he was tripped up from behind. 2 receivers left, 2 out wide to the right. Anderson from the shotgun steps back looking to throw. Over the middle, he had Hunting, who lets it go in and out of his hands. Heard the footsteps coming across the middle and couldn't hold on to the pass. So Anderson, just 5 of 15, 31 yards. No, I've got that wrong. 6 of 15 for 31 yards passing today. Second down and 10 for the Rebel offense with 2:22 left in the second quarter, trailing 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. A 26-yard touchdown run by Teagan Criswell, the only score of the game. Cason Trenary comes in motion. Anderson pulls it out and keeps it himself, and he is met and hit hard by big Briston Schreiber and the big Kenny Moore, junior defensive tackle. Anderson got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Jarrett, 10 carries, 57 yards rushing in the game. Rebels facing a 3rd and 10. Slowing things down just a little bit. Don't want to leave the Bears too much time if you don't move the chains and pick up a first down. It's a tough line to balance because if you take too much time, you don't give yourself enough time should you find some success offensively. 2 receivers left, 2 out right. Anderson back looking to throw. Hislop picks up the pressure, throws out to his left side looking for Meek. He turns and just can't hang on to it. The pass was to the outside shoulder, and Meek couldn't reel it in. Anderson just 6 of 16 for 31 yards in the game. And Rich faces a 4th down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Huffaker, the Rebel punter, back at his own 34 to punt this one away. Joey James back deep to return. Huffaker gets off a nice wobbly spiral, and it's fumbled by James. He picks it up and heads toward his right. He's got some room and some blockers. Cuts back to his left, and there he's wrapped up at the 35, 40-yard line. Some big blocks out there. A couple of Rebels ended up on the ground. Joey James with a nice return. And Bear Lake with good field position once again. 1:21 left in the second quarter, and if you're the Rebel defense, your sole purpose right now is to keep the Bears from putting any more points on the board. It's just 7-0. Rebels trail on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Bears from their own 43-yard line, a 1st and 10. Carlson again in that shallow shotgun with 2 receivers right, 2 left. Criswell goes in motion. Carlson throws. He's got his man caught by Jackson Garbett. He's caught from behind and drugged down by Hislop at the 38-yard line. They'll spot it at the 37. That's a 20-yard pass and catch. Jackson Garbett, the recipient. Carlson has connected on his last 5 attempts for 63 yards after going 0 for 4 on his first few attempts. Garbett goes in motion left to right. Carlson back to throw, lobs it out toward the left side, and he overthrows Joey James. He's pleading for a pass interference. Cason Trineri got tripped up and may have slowed James down just a little bit. But no flag, just an incomplete pass. Is the drill performing first and then cheer, do you know? Cheer team first or drill first? Your drill, okay. In motion, Criswell. Carlson from the shotgun. Deep down the right sideline. Trineri's the closest one. James had cut in on a post, and it looked like Carlson thought he was going out on a flag pattern. And it falls incomplete, luckily for the Bears. Trineri was very close, and he had just another second. He could have gotten out there to make the pick. 3rd down and 10 for the Bears offense at the Rebel 38-yard line. The Bears all check their wristbands for the play. Carlson in the shallow shotgun, trips to the right, and Garbett goes in motion to the right. Pressure comes, throw out to Garbett, in and out of his hands. It tipped off his helmet to the ground. So Carlson has been very streaky, 0 for 4 on his first 4. Then he hit 5 in a row completions, and now he's missed his last 3. Brings up a 4th down and 10 for this Bears offense. Surely they'll go for it here. They're way out of any kind of possibility of a field goal range. And a punt wouldn't make much difference with just 55 seconds left in this second quarter. We'll take a timeout as we've got a timeout on the field. Bears lead 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
A beautiful afternoon in Rich County, Randolph, Utah. Currently 81 degrees. Bears leading 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Rich has had some chances. They got down inside the 20-yard line of the Bears, but a penalty pushed them back outside the 20 to the 25, and then they stalled on the drive from there a few minutes ago. The Bears have 1 touchdown drive. It was it followed a fumble, and Teagan Criswell went 26 yards in 1 play for the score. That's all our scoring we've had today. 4th down and 10. Bears with the football at the Rebel 38-yard line. A 4th and 10. Ball right in the middle of the field. Carlson in the shallow shotgun sends Garbett in motion to his left hip, so two guys back behind him. Carlson throws deep down the right sideline, and Trineri was there, tipped it away, and it's incomplete, out of bounds. Good defense by the Rebels. They dropped an extra guy back in coverage. And with 49.5 seconds left to go, Rebels take over on the turnover on downs. Rich from their own 37-yard line. Question is, what do you do here? You try to go too big and may give up a big play the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th possession of this first half for the Rebel offense. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. 1 man deep defensively is James Alleman. He's about 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. High snap, Anderson pulls it down, had to tip it to himself. A late pitch is on the ground, and the Bears may have it. And that's what I was getting at, is that not necessarily the deep play that I thought Rich might go for, but just a little bit careless, and Rich fumbles it. The 3rd giveaway in the half, and the Bears have new life. A 1st and 10 from the Rebel 35. 42 seconds left in the first half. Trips to the left side. 1 slot back on the right. Carlson sends Criswell in motion, takes the snap, gives up the middle. Hammond some room to run up the gut inside the 25, down near the 23, and a first down. Hammond has gotten his yards in chunks. A 35-yard run, and then that carry clear down to the 23. That's a 12-yard run. Snap to Carlson, pitches right side, looking for, he's got Garbett around the right, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Not much of a gain, if anything. Jaden Nelson and Rex Deeds out there on the tackle. And they'll spot it at the 22, a 1-yard gain for Garbett. That's 2 carries for 5 yards for Jackson, the junior. Now the sophomore. 2nd down and 9 for the Bears. Trips to the left side. Criswell in motion. He'll get the pitch to the left. Forced back inside, and what a stop by the Rebel defense. Reagan Huffner took on the block, forced Criswell to go back inside, and then reached out and made the tackle. And that ought to take us to the half, or did we get a timeout? Timeout on the field. They'll say Criswell gained 1 yard on the play. Again, he has a 26-yard touchdown run, but he has 6 carries for 24 yards. So 1 carry of 26 yards. The other 5 have combined for -2. That one, a 1-yard gain. It's 3rd down and 9. The Bears leading 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We're in the T7 Propane and Woodruff second quarter. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. That might have been your McKay Frankham precision play of the game. McKay Frankham Dental Care at reasonable rates for the whole family, carrying comprehensive dental care. Huffner forcing, he did his job as a defensive end, forcing the runner to go back inside, holding containment, and then the quick sidestep by Huffner to step in there and make the tackle. A nice precision play from Reagan. Third down and 9 for the Bears. They actually spotted that one out closer to the 22. No gain for Criswell. 21.3 seconds left in the second quarter. Rebels trying to keep the Bears out of the end zone for a second time in this first half. Garbett in motion. Carlson back looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's sandwiched and brought down. Huffner, Nelson, and Leo Spuler in on the tackle. 3 Rebels got great penetration and brought Carlson down, and Coach Messerly says, I think that we'll let that be it. Nope, the offense lines up, but they can't get the snap off before the horn sounds at the half. The sack was a loss of 4. The Bears lead 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We've got your halftime show coming up in a bit. It'll be brought to you by the T-Bar S Body Shop and Glass Fixing of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today.
According to the United States Census of 2010, the town of Randolph has a population of 464 people, and every one of us root for the Rich High Rebels.
Who slams it home?
Welcome to Randolph, Utah. We love being able to host the visiting teams, their coaches, their parents, and fans when Rich High has a home game. We love all of our visitors year-round and hope that you can take some time soon to come and visit us in our little slice of heaven, Randolph, Utah.
What are 2 words that tell the world you had the best time ever? Epic recreation. That's right. Nothing else compares, and you do it all again. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at Bear Lake. Open year-round, Epic Recreation has everything you need. Boats, Sea-Doos, paddleboards, kayaks, UTVs, and more. When you want to have an epic vacation at Bear Lake, remember, Epic Recreation equals epic fun. Visit epicrecreation.net.
Welcome back to the halftime show, brought to you by T-Bar Body Shop of Evanston. They can fix your glass too. That's let T-Bar fix your car. In that first half, the Rebels had put together a couple of nice drives, had some good plays, but just didn't find the consistency that they needed to keep drives alive. Their best drive started from their own 3-yard line. They picked up 5 first downs on the drive, and they got all the way down to the Bear Lake 22 before turning it over on downs. The biggest issue, I think, has been turnovers. Rebels have fumbled it once and thrown 1 interception. Fumbled it twice and thrown an interception, plus turned it over on downs, I believe 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 turnovers on downs. So that's been a big part of the issue for the Rebels. We'll give you some more stats and highlights when we return. Some Rich County first half highlights and stats. Rebels with a championship cause. Stay tuned. More of the T-Bar Body Shop T-Bar Body Shop halftime show right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
I think another good name for Matt Rex, the owner of T-Bar Body Shop in Evanston, would be the Anger Eraser. I came out to the parking lot to find a ding and scratch. I was so angry, I went to T-Bar Body Shop to get a quote and met Matt Rex. He said they would fix it, and he'd even talked to my insurance company. When I picked up my car, it looked great. No stress, no hassle. Matt's friendliness and quality service erased all my anger. When your car gets bunged up, don't get angry. Just let T-Bar fix your car.
Back at the half, brought to you by T-Bar Body Shop of Evanston. Matt Rex, welcome back to the halftime show. Rebels trail 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We were treated to the performance by the Rebel drill team. The cheer squad out there performing now. And Charmaine Huffaker with the flip moves. I'm not sure what you call those. What are they, Dylan? Negus? Never took gymnastics or anything like that, so just totally ignorant. Rebels in that first half, just 116 yards of offense. Anderson 6 of 16, 31 yards through the air. And there were some moments when, some passes looked really good. Things were humming along, but for the most part, it's just inconsistent as Rich tries to get used to this offense and really familiarize with it. Bears kind of similar. Ashton Carlson missed on his first 4 pass attempts, then hit 5 in a row for 63 yards, then missed on his last 4, 5 of 13 for 63 yards. The Bears, a little more success on the ground, 83 yards rushing. 55 from Matt Hammond, 23 from Teagan Criswell. Criswell has the lone touchdown of the game, a 26-yard scamper with about 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and that's the only scoring we've had in this game. A lot of turnovers. Rebels both punted on their first possessions. Then the Bears threw an interception. Stetson Huffaker picked it off for Rich. Then Rich fumbled it. The Bears scored. The next Rebel possession ended in an interception by Matt Hammond. The Bears punted. Rebels turned over on downs. Bears turned it over on downs. Rebels turnover on downs. Bears fumbled, recovered by Jared Anderson. Rebels turnover on downs. Bears interception. Rebels punt. Bears turnover on downs. Rebels fumble, and then the half. So each team with 3 turnovers plus additional turnovers on downs. That's been an issue today for both teams. 7-0 Bears with the lead on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We're going to move along in our halftime coverage, brought to you by T-Bar S Body Shop. These first half highlights have been brought to you by Rich County. Rebels with a championship cause. We've got the town of Woodruff standout student coming up. I had a chance to catch up with student body president Hannah Coburn, and we'll hear from her when we return on this presentation of Rich Rebel football on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Ever since 1871, when Joseph C. Rich surveyed the town site, the town of Woodruff has been a thriving ranching community. Settlers were attracted by the broad valley and green grasses, the mountain trout in the streams, the elk and deer herds in abundance, and the neighbors were friendly. That's how people still are today. Visit Woodruff, and you too will experience that friendliness. It's everywhere. It's the town of Woodruff, Utah, where we're proud of our rich rebels.
Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston is Rich County's representative. As a mother and grandmother of Rich High graduates and current students, and a longtime resident of Randolph, Rolene is familiar with your needs and will work to provide you with the best customer service in the industry. The next time you're looking for a new car or truck, think Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Play hard and go Rebels.
Bear Lake leads Rich 7-0 at the half on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Rich looking for some offense. Maybe you just find a little more consistency in the second half. See if they can get it. But first, it's time for the standout student, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Sabey, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with clerk Lisa Bell. Did I get that right? The town of Woodruff, Scott Sabey, Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, John Peterson, Secretary Lisa Bell. Ryan Steineckert with the student body president of Rich High School student government, Hannah Coburn. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I don't mean the name. I mean the position.
Yeah, sure. I don't really know what the position is myself, so I'm just student body officer president.
Madam President, your senior year is underway as of Monday. How are things going so far?
Pretty good. No one's dead yet, so I guess that's a win.
If that's the bar, that's pretty low.
Yeah, but it's a good bar to have. It's low is better.
What are your plans for your senior year, being the student body president?
Have as much fun as possible while still learning lots, get my associate's degree, keep my 4.0, be valedictorian.
There's the high bar right there.
Yeah, you got to have one.
What's the first fun activity or first fun that's going to happen this school year?
We have our opening social, which is just going to have some fun water activities, giant water slide, water volleyball, some surprise paint in there. See what happens. You got to get those water activities in while it's still warm. Very true.
Is that here at the high school?
Yes, it will be.
And then what's next after that? What's the next big plan?
I think it's homecoming. I want to try to plan a little activities in between, but homecoming's the next big thing going on.
When you mention other little activities, what are you thinking of?
I think of outdoor movies after games, maybe a fire as a school, just some fun little activities to unite the school more.
Luckily, Rick Larson, principal, is a fireman, so if you have a fire, you've got him right on board. Very true. That's one perk. No one can die from that. Hannah, what are you, personally, you as a student, you mentioned valedictorian, hopes, 4.0 hopes, associate's degree, all that. It's a busy year for you.
It's very busy, but it's going to be a good one.
You're also involved with, is it drill team?
Yes, drill team.
How's that going so far?
Pretty dang good. We have an amazing team this year. We're taking state.
Taking state. That's a bold prediction from Hannah Coburn. Who do you have to jump over? Because last year was a 5th place finish at state. Who do you have to get past to come out on top?
Surprisingly, I do not know their names. Maybe it's a Panguitch, maybe Paiute, Monticello maybe. I'm not quite sure of their names. I just know they're good.
When you set a goal, right, you have to set it has to be attainable, and you've got to have steps to get there. What are you guys doing to get to the top?
Just working out harder, learning our dances faster, making our dancers harder, more technique involved, more difficulty, just the little things.
So the measurable things right there, we talk about, making it attainable. Are the girls on the team, you feel like, the drill team's really rolling, moving along now? You've got some girls with more dance experience, and this is going to be possible?
Yes, so the incoming freshmen we have, they've all had dance experience, so that's awesome. We only have 1 or 2 girls that have never danced, and they're picking up everything amazingly, catching on awesomely, doing everything almost as good as everyone else is, so that's awesome.
I don't want to take your focus away from your senior year because you got a lot going on, but what's in store for Hannah Coburn after May, after Rich High School?
I want to go to Utah State, and I want to become a preschool teacher. So I'll go through the early childhood education program and then become a preschool teacher or kindergarten, either one.
Will you get to do some of that early childhood stuff, like classes here, and help TA at the elementary school or anything along those lines?
Yeah, so I want a TA for Miss Hatch at the Southwest Elementary. I hope that'll help me, push me, want to do it for reals and not psych myself out.
Has the student body started calling you Madam President, or is it still Hannah?
No, it's El Presidente or Hanco, so I'm getting there. We're close, but not quite.
Is that your celebrity name, Hanco?
Yes, it is. I guess it is now.
El Presidente, Hannah Coburn, student body president, senior, possible valedictorian, 4.0 student. We'll knock on wood and hope that happens for you. I hope you make that happen.
I'm going to make it happen.
Anything else, Hannah?
Nope.
Hannah Coburn, good luck with your senior year. And again, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. This has been the Town of Woodruff Standout Students featuring Hannah Coburn, El Presidente. I think you might say La Presidenta. I don't know if you do that in Spanish, La Presidenta. It's Hanco. Stay tuned. We got the Town of Randolph third quarter coming up. It's the Bears leading the Rebels 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Back right after this.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Deeds, and you're watching Rich High School Football at Rebel Radio. KADQ FM, 98.3, mylocalradio.com.
Most of our limits we have in life come from the walls in our own mind. The Town Council and citizens of Lake Town, Utah celebrate all students and staff in the Rich School District. Learning and education will help make that wall in your mind shorter, so it is easier to jump over. We encourage every student to reach their full potential through hard work, continued education, and focus.
Go Rich Rebels!
When you hit the bullseye playing darts, it's a great thing. When a rock hits your windshield and creates a bullseye, it's a bad thing. A small bullseye in your windshield can grow into a monster crack that covers the whole window. T-Bar S Body Shop in Evanston fixes rock chips. If the rock chip in your windshield has already grown into a giant crack, T-Bar S Body Shop can fix that too. When it comes to window repair or replacement, make sure you always hit the bullseye. Let T-Bar fix your car. Call us today, 789-2639.
Been tuned into the halftime show presented by T-Bar S Body Shop of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. They do a great job. They take care of the insurance. They'll work with your insurance so that you don't have to. You take your car in, you tell them what you need, and Matthew Rex will take care of you. It makes it a hassle-free, anger-erasing experience at T-Bar S Body Shop in Evanston. Well, the Rebels did not manage a pro physical therapy touchdown, and of course didn't get a Rich County 4-H extra point in that first half. Our camera today is being run by Dylan Negus, and if I can find, there it is, the Bear Lake Realty fan cam. See those Bear Lake fans across the way. I don't envy their spot out here this afternoon, looking into the sun across the way. Not only are they looking like at the sun, it's bearing down on them. Of course, it's about 81 degrees here in Rich County. Could be a lot worse if you were down in the valley or somewhere hotter. But boy, if you want to enjoy some good fun recreation all summer long and all winter long as well, visit BearLakeRealty.com. They've got great timeshare options, and even options where Gary talks about he can help you learn how to buy a home, which might be a second home for you, and you can rent that out and actually make money, let it pay for itself, and you can enjoy the place as well, pay it off within a few years, and maybe become a second income for you. There are options like that at Bear Lake Realty. So if you're interested in beachfront, room of the view, secluded mountain retreat, recreation headquarters, or any number of timeshare options, or what I just mentioned, a second home that can pay for itself and you can enjoy it as well, visit BearLakeRealty.com. Talk with Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. Bear Lake fans have been treated so far. Their team leads 7-0. The only scoring, though, so far in this game, a 26-yard run by Tiegan Criswell, and the Rebels have kept Criswell in check. His rushing yards today look like this: 6 carries, 23 yards. And keep in mind, again, that was a 26-yard run, so one carry was 26 yards. The other 5 have been for -3, but that was enough, and that's been the difference. The Bears with 83 rushing yards, 142 total yards. The Rebels have just about matched their total from a year ago when they had 117 yards in the game. Rich had 116 yards in that first half. A lot of that, Jared Anderson, 57 yards rushing on 10 carries. They're going to need to find a little more consistency through the air, and going to need to find a running game. Colton Hislop, the running back, just 5 carries for 9 yards, and the defense has really been keying in on him whenever Anderson drops back in that option and looks to give it to him. The Bears have been all over it, so Rebels will have to find some of that defensive or offensive, a little bit more time and more running holes for Hislop, the running back. So far, our McKay Frankham precision play of the game, I think, goes to Reagan Huffner, the play from the defensive end position. He forced the running back. It was a run around the left side. He forced the running back inside, and then also made the tackle. Rebels will get it to start this second half as they kicked off to start the first quarter. Our third quarter will be brought to you by the town of Randolph. It's a low squib kick, bounces high, and diving on it. A good decision there by Kyler Jackson, the senior, showing some senior intelligence. Just dives on it. What a smart decision there by Kyler Jackson. I love that. That ball was could have been a very dangerous had Wilson, or had not Wilson, but Jackson not made that decision. So Rich with pretty good field position from their own 35-yard line. A first down. First and 10 for the Rebel offense, attacking right to left, that's south to north at Rich High School. And on mylocalradio.com, Meek in motion, left to right. Handoff to him, no, Anderson keeps it himself. Thought about a late pitch. Defense crashed in and brought Jared down a yard behind the line of scrimmage to the 34. Second down and 11. Anderson trying to move to his left. Rebel volleyball team 0-2 so far today. Lost in 3 straight sets to Evanston and Mountain View. They'll play Preston tonight, and we're planning on bringing you the coverage of that match here on KADQ later on this evening. We might be getting a little bit of choppy coverage here. Let me adjust some settings real quick. Anderson fakes up the middle, gives to Kyler Wilson, who came in motion, goes around the right side, goes down, the ball pops loose as he hits the turf. And that's not a fumble. Ground caused the fumble, but Wilson probably lost a half yard, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and he's slow to get up. Cam Jarman of Bear Lake Physical Therapy out to take a look, and we'll take a quick break, an injury timeout here in the third quarter. Brought to you by the town of Randolph. Back with more Rebel football on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com in a moment.
According to the United States Census of 2010, the town of Randolph has a population of 464 people, and every one of us root for the Rich High Rebels.
Who slams it home?
Welcome to Randolph, Utah. We love being able to host the visiting teams, their coaches, their parents, and fans when Rich High has a home game. We love all of our visitors year-round and hope that you can take some time soon to come and visit us in our little slice of heaven, Randolph, Utah.
Third down and 11. Anderson throws deep down the right sideline. Got Trineri, and he's got him! The catch made by Kason Trineri. He was looking toward the inside, had to adjust, turned over his other shoulder, and still made the grab. What a catch by Kason Trineri. That's all the way into the Bears' territory at the 33. A 33-yard pass and catch, if I did my math correctly. Trineri's fourth catch of the day. Anderson again from the shotgun. Looks over the middle. He's got Kason again. It's thrown behind him and incomplete. Trineri with 62 yards receiving in the game. He's been targeted, I think, 6 times. It just hasn't been able to catch it 2 or 3 of those times. But again, 4 receptions for 62 yards. Anderson has 7 passes completed for 64 yards. Second down and 10, ball on the right hash, 33-yard line of the Bears. Anderson sends a man in motion, fakes the handoff up the middle, keeps it himself to the left side, cuts back in at the 30, then dives forward and just misses, getting pancaked by the big boy. Kenny Moore dove in, trying to flatten Jared Anderson and just missed. Anderson dives down to the 25, an 8-yard gain. Jared is at 64 yards rushing on 12 carries, the leading rusher for this Rebel offense. Brings up a 3rd and 2. Ball on the left hash. 2 receivers left, 2 out wide right. Lutz and Meek on the left. Meek goes in motion left to right. Snap, Anderson gives to Hislop left side, and instead of diving up the middle, he tried to make more out of it, kept his feet long enough to dive forward to the 24 and make it a 4th and 1. That's just 6 carries for Hislop, 10 yards in the game. His best was a 6-yard run in about the second quarter. The Rebels just have been unable to get anything going on the ground other than Anderson keeping it on the quarterback option play. I apologize, I don't have the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We got that back up there for you now if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. 4th and 1. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Meek in motion. Anderson takes the snap, keeps it himself, dives ahead. He's got the first down and maybe an extra yard down to the 21. The line judge says move those chains. It's a comprehensive family dental first down on a 2-yard carry to the 22-yard line for Anderson. For the Rebels, trailing 7-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Kyler Wilson back into the game. He must be dealing with a cramp. It's acted up a couple of times, and we'll see how he does with just under 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Brought to you by the town of Randolph. Good luck from Mayor Lynn Weston, board member Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and clerk Lana Peart. Ball on the left hash, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Huffner in motion, right to left. Handoff up the middle. Nope, Anderson kept it himself. Inside the 20, still on his feet. Second effort will get him down to about the 18 as defenders come in and continue to hit. Looks like they'll spot it at the 19. That's a 3-yard gain. Anderson, 14 carries, 69 yards in the game. 7 of 18 through the air for 64 yards with 1 interception. Rebels facing a 3rd down and 7. Just over 8 minutes left in the in the town of Randolph third quarter. Looking for a pro physical therapy touchdown on this drive to even things up. Anderson from the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Hislop behind him. Bears showing some pressure up the middle, but then they back off as Anderson drops back to throw over the middle right to Jackson Garbett. And I'm not sure if Anderson just didn't see him looking over the middle for who was there. Landon Hunting may have been going over the middle, or maybe Now, boy, not sure either way. It went straight into the hands of Jackson Garbett. And Rich turns it over for a 4th time, plus 3 turnovers on downs. Bears take over, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. 3rd quarter, 7:45 left in the 3rd. Timeout Bears. We'll take a quick one as well and be back with more Rebel football on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Sometimes when you're shopping for a vehicle, you're not sure what you want, so you drop by and look at all the options. Other times you know exactly what you want. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, you can call us or schedule a test drive online. We'll have it ready when you get here. We're here to help you get exactly what you want on your schedule. So whether you want to browse or pre-schedule a test drive, Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet is here for you. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
An 8-play drive, went 46 yards before it ended in an interception. Rebels have thrown 2 interceptions and given it away on 2 fumbles, plus 3 turnovers on downs. One of our epic recreation keys of the game was win the turnover battle. Rebels have, they're not winning the turnover battle, but they're just about even as they have 2 interceptions. Trayson Lutz and Stetson Huffaker, plus Lutz forced a fumble. Here's the snap for the Bears up the middle, and I believe that was Garbett. May have been Hammond working his way across the 25. Give Hammond a 5-yard gain. He's up to 60 yards on 9 carries. Out to the 22, a 2nd and 5. Criswell in motion to the backfield, gets the handoff, works up the left side and pushes out to the 25-yard line. Continues to drive forward. They'll spot it out at the 26, 27, and move the chains. So that's another 5-yard gain. Criswell hadn't had a positive yardage carry since his 26-yard touchdown run, but that one goes for 5 yards and a 1st down. Carlson takes the snap, hands off. Garbett breaks a tackle, lowers the shoulders across the 35, and then he's stood up and driven back, but picked up another 1st down out to the 39-yard line. 12 yards for Criswell, or Garbett rather, on the carry. Colton Hislop and Landon Hunting on the stop, but Rich getting worked up the middle. Coach Grohl sends Bridger Weston in to try and plug up a hole in the middle. Carlson takes the snap, gives to Garbett, going right side, and the Bears have gone away from all the counter and deception in the backfield. They've just gone to a bring a man in motion, set him up next to Carlson, and then he takes it straight up the middle. That one goes for another 5 yards, and Tiegan Criswell sets up the Bears with a 2nd down and 5. Carlson brings Garbett in motion, hands off to him, going left. He started outside, then cut back in as the containment was there, and the Rebels stuff it. And I said Garbett, that was actually Criswell on the carry. And they'll spot him out at the 46. 2 yards for Criswell. It was up to 35 yards on 9 carries. A 3rd down and short for the Bears, leading 7-0 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Criswell again in motion, goes around behind Carlson. Defense out on him, and they'll throw out into the flat. Garbett wide open catch down the sideline to the 40, and he's hit out of bounds by Kaysen Trenary. A 1st down and a lot more from their own 46, clear down to the Rebel 38. 16 yards on the pass to Garbett, his 2nd reception of the day. That puts Ashton Carlson 6 of 14 for 79 yards through the air. Bears humming along on this first possession of the 2nd half. Snap, Carlson gives to Garbett, running left to right, and he is wrapped up. Jaden Nelson says, "You're not going anywhere." Garbett may have lost a yard, or they'll spot it. No, looks like he did gain 1 yard to the 37. A short gain for the Bears, 2nd down and 9. Time running in the second quarter, 5.5, in the third quarter, brought to you by the town of Randolph. Carlson, the shotgun, steps back, looks to throw. He's got his man in the flat. Criswell makes the catch, immediately hit at the 26 by Kyler Wilson. But that will move the chains again. An 11-yard gain. And the Bears have found some success on what they're doing. An 11-yard gain puts Carlson at 90 passing yards. And moves the chains once again. That's 3 first downs on this drive. Make it 4 first downs on the drive. James Alleman comes in a bit late. The Bears line up on a 1st and 10. Ball on the right hash. Garbutt in motion to the left side of Carlson. Takes the snap, throws deep down the left sideline. It's a jump ball, but way too far outside. Owen Tusher had stopped and looked in, turned in. The throw was way out to the sideline. And Carlson missed with the incompletion. 2nd down and 10. Bears up to the line. Alleman on the right side, the slot back or the running back on the right side. Comes in motion behind Carlson. He'll receive the pass. It was behind him, but he makes a nice catch, makes a move down the sideline, breaks a tackle, and he dives for a first down or close to it inside the 20. Trenary on the tackle, but James Alleman takes it all the way down to the 18. It's a 3rd and 1. Carlson takes the snap, gives up the middle, lots of room for Hammond, breaks a tackle, still on his feet inside the 10 to the 5. Finally brought down. Hammond down to the 4. That's a 14-yard gain. And a timeout. The Rebels. Bears have had their way on this drive. They're down inside the 10. Got a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one as well and be back right after this.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Leo Spooler, and you're watching Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
At Jensen Wood Motor, it's our goal to make sure every customer is a repeat customer. The way we do that, our customers are our friends.
It's our job to help you find what you're looking for at the best possible price. It's always good to know that your salesman is working for you.
We understand that life happens. Sometimes credit isn't perfect. We work hard to find financing options that work best for you.
Stop by today and let's see what we can do for you. Jensen Wood Motors in Montpelier, Idaho.
Make sure to stay tuned for our post-game show presented by Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. We'll give you some final stats. We'll talk with Coach Justin Grohl about today's game. In the meantime, it's third quarter, 4:33 left to go. Bears knocking on the door, a 1st down and goal. Carlson from that short shotgun, hands off going to his right. Garbutt down to about the 2. It's a gain of 1 or maybe 2 yards. Brings up a 2nd down. Jaden Nelson and Deeds Rex in on the tackle. Hammond and Garbutt in the backfield with Carlson in the shotgun. Handoff to Hammond, left side, and he is hit immediately. Lot of penetration in the backfield. Colton Hislop and Rex and Trayson Lutz all with excellent penetration. Hammond loses a yard. And it brings up 3rd and goal. Bears with a 7-0 lead on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard, looking to extend the lead. Carlson throws out to his left, and he got his man. What a throw where only his guy could get it, and it's Owen Tusher with the touchdown reception. Tusher with just his 2nd reception of the day, and this one's for 6 points. Carlson up to 50% completion percentage and 102 yards with that 3-yard touchdown pass. Bears will attempt the extra point. The kick is up. It's a low line drive off the right upright. Bounces right back to the players on the field. No good. So the Bears lead 13-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and be back with more Rebel football on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
They really appreciate every customer at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. They understand that you have lots of options when it comes to purchasing outdoor recreation vehicles. That's why they work hard to earn your business by making sure they understand exactly what you want. They're friends with their customers. When you're happy, they're happy. If you haven't been to their store, they invite you to come visit. And if you've already one of their friends, stop in again soon and check out all of this season's gear. Cash Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on US 91.
The Bears started that drive at their own 17-yard line, 83 yards, 14 plays. And Rich really didn't ever slow them down on that drive. The Bears made some adjustments and really hitting things a lot more quickly. Carlson on that drive alone was 4 of 5 for 23 yards. No, 33 yards and the score. So the Bears lead 13-0 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Rebels will receive the kickoff here. Lutz and Trineri back deep to receive, and the Bears line up, or the Rebels lined up for a short kick, and it pays off. Wilson receives it at the 20 to the 25, 30, and then upended and brought down at the 36. The Bears had done squib kicks their previous 2 kickoffs. This time they do a longer kick, or a higher kick, but it doesn't go any further. And the Rebels will take over 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Kyler Wilson on the return. Give them about a 15-yard return. Rebels got to get something going here. They've had a couple of drives that have worked out, but then turned it over on downs or through an interception. Rich, ball near the center of the field at their own 39-yard line. Meek in motion. Anderson fakes the handoff to Hislop, gives to Meek, and he's got nothing. Briston Schreiber, the sophomore, in the backfield. And he just read that play coming as Meek came in motion. Rebels are dropped back at the 33. It's a 6-yard loss for Meek on just his 2nd carry of the game. 2 carries, 3 yards. His other one went for 9 yards, with this one -3, or -6, excuse me. Hislop in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Rebels send Meek in motion again to the right side. Anderson takes the snap, has time, looking down the right sideline. He's got his man, caught by Huffner at the 45, across the 50, upended into Bears territory, and a big gain down the right side to the Bears 48. 19 yards on the pass and catch to Reagan Huffner. Huffner's 2nd reception of the game, and a nice toss from Anderson. He was patient and good blocking. There was one guy coming free, but Hislop, the running back, picked up that defender, that rushing defender. Anderson, 83 passing yards on 8 completions, but 2 interceptions. A 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Anderson back to throw, lots of pressure, tucks it, picks his way forward across inside the 45 to the 40, outside, back up the middle, back up the sideline, and Anderson moves the chains down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. He's a bit slow to get to his feet. His teammates help him out, and he'll limp his way back to the huddle. They'll spot this at the 33-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain for Anderson and puts him at 84 rushing yards to go along with his 83 passing yards. It's also another Comprehensive Family Dental 1st down. 2 receivers left, 2 out wide right. Ball in the right hash. Pistol formation, Anderson in the shotgun. Jared steps back, looks to throw, goes outside on the out by Huffner. Catch is made at the 30, the 25, and he's forced out of bounds at the 24. just shy of another, what would be another first down. So Huffner with a 9-yard reception. Anderson 9 of 21 for 92 yards in the game. Rebels have a 2nd down and short. Boy, I'd love to see a little shot to the end zone if they can get the right coverage to Trenary or maybe Colton Meek down the seam. On a 2nd and short, Anderson from the shotgun, pressure coming up the middle. Hislop picks up the pressure on the outside, pass to Meek, makes the catch at the 20, to the 10-5, touchdown, he sprints to the end zone and beats Joey James there. Colton Hislop puts the Rebels on the board for the first time this season. Anderson to Hislop for 24 yards and the score. I said Hislop, it's Colton Meek. Thank you, Colton Meek on the touchdown reception. Get the two Coltons mixed up, but that was Colton Meek, and he came back to the ball. That was a great reception because the defense was right there. Meek came back to make the catch and then broke a tackle, showed some speed, and made a great angle to the end zone. The snap, the kick is up. Huffaker misses it wide left, and the Rebels trail 13-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. We'll keep it right here, and as the Rebels will get lined up to kick this one off. Anderson 10 of 22. That 24-yard touchdown pass puts him at 116 passing yards on the day. That drive for Rich, just 5 plays. Started at their own 39. 61 yards. And ate up just under 2 minutes of time, 1:56 off the clock. PAT, no good. So the Rebels do what they hadn't done against the Bears, possibly ever. Again, on my Laketown ledger, I could only find that Rich and Bear Lake have played, this is the 3rd matchup. 2 years ago, the Rebels were shut out offensively, but won because of a safety, won 2-0. Last year, the Rebels lost 14-0 at Bear Lake. So this touchdown, first time Rebels have scored against the Bears in at least the last 3 years. Anderson finds Colton Meek. Colton with his first reception of the day. Anderson with a couple of interceptions on the day, but boy, that helps make up or helps even things out. That was a nice throw, and again, can't say enough about Meek and that reception coming back to the ball. Huffaker to kick it off, and didn't have a whistle yet. He was ready to go and kicked it off before he got the whistle from the officials, so the Rebels will have to back up, line up, and do it again. 3rd quarter, 1:44 left to go. Our 3rd quarter action is brought to you by the town of Randolph. That touchdown was brought to you by Pro Physical Therapy and physical therapist Dr. Dallas Clark. Extra points are presented by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Rebels failed on the extra point attempt and trail 13-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. There's the whistle. Huffaker being patient this time. Now boots it away. It's a low squib. Bounces and skids all the way down to the 23. Picked up by Joey James. Up the left side. He breaks free, and he's gone to the 50, the 40. Nobody's going to catch him. The Bears answer quickly. Joey James all the way to the house. Call it 77 yards. Joey James, one of the few senior starters on this Bear Lake team. And the Bears with a quick answer after the Rebels had climbed to within a score. The Rebels have their work cut out for them going back, getting the ball back after this. PAT attempt coming up. 19-6 after the touchdown. James picked that up at about the 23-yard line and found a nice crease up the middle, then bounced it out to the left sideline and outran everybody. The speed was really an issue in the JV game. The Rebels lost that one 38-10, and James showing some speed on that kick return. The kick, the extra point kick, is a lofter out to the left side and takes a few bounces out into the tall grass. No good. So the Rebels trail 19-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Plenty of time, 1:32. That was a 12-second kick return for Joey James to go 77 yards, including fighting through a bit of traffic. Rich, we'll still see what Rebels do here on this kick return following that Bear Lake Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. Kickoffs in the game are brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. We're in the town of Randolph, third quarter, and Rich trails. Again, it's 19-6. Rebels had climbed to within a score. It was 13-6. But the Bears with the 77-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Joey James. Rebels line up for a longer kick this time. When they've lined up for a short kick, Briston Schreiber has squibbed it. Or when they line up for a long kick, Schreiber squibs it. When they lined up for a short kick, he tried to kick it deep, but didn't kick it that deep. We'll see what he does here. Schreiber, a low line drive. Trenary fields it at the 15. Finds a lane up the right sideline to the 25, skips ahead to the 30, to the 35, tripped up and brought down out near the 40. They'll spot the return out at the 38-yard line. Rebels started their last drive at their own 39. Trenary from the 15 out to the 38, a 23-yard kick return. 1st and 10 for the Rich Rebel offense. Their last possession, 5 plays, 61 yards, and a 24-yard pass from Jared Anderson to Colton Meek for the score. Meek, slot receiver on the left side. Landon Hunting out wide on the left. 2 receivers on the right side as well. Anderson from the shotgun takes the snap, throws for Huffner, and that was well underthrown. A flag flies out, and I think the official, that line judge, is going to say, no, I thought it was a pass interference, but it was uncatchable. Probably wave this flag off is what I would expect. It was a little bit of a bump on Huffner behind him. No, they will call it a pass interference. I'm frankly surprised by that, but we'll take it. That's right. There's no rule about uncatchable football, is there? Enough of a bump that it's a pass interference. And they'll walk off 15 yards for the Bears. 62 yards in penalties. And that puts Rich in Bear Lake territory with a comprehensive family dental first down at the 47-yard line. 47 of the Bears. Ball right in the middle of the field. 3 receivers right. Lutz alone on the left side. Meek in motion to the right to left. Anderson steps back looking to throw, setting up the screen, and hits Deeds in the back as he looked to make the pass to Trenary, I think, coming across this, from the side. And the pass falls incomplete. Anderson 10 of 23, 116 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks in the game. 19-6. Bears have failed on 2 extra point attempts. Rebels failed on theirs as well. It was 7-0 Bears, then 13-0 Bears before the Rebels responded to make it 13-6 on their last possession. Bears responded quickly with a 77-yard touchdown return on the kickoff. Man in motion is Huffner. He gets the handoff. Reagan off the left side, patient, waits, then breaks forward across the 30, or inside the 30, hit down out of bounds at about the 28. Huffner with a very patient run, waiting to have those blocks get set up. And Reagan all the way down to the 28. That's a 19-yard run for Huffner. 2 carries in the game for 34 yards for Reagan Huffner. Another comprehensive family dental first down. Two receivers right, Huffner and Trineri. On the left, Meek and Lutz. Anderson, the shotgun, quick wide receiver screen. It's a low pass. Trineri goes down, scoops it off the ground, and then is tackled immediately back at the 30 and a loss of 2. Joey James on the tackle. That moves the possession out to the right hash. Rebels facing a 2nd down and 12 with under 30 seconds remaining in the town of Randolph third quarter. Anderson from the shotgun, pistol, and Hislop behind him. Two receivers left, two right. Jared back looking to throw, goes deep, looking for Hunting. He's got to step on his man inside the pass, too far to the inside. Hunting couldn't quite get there. If Anderson lofts that a little further to the outside or even straight on Hunting's path, that's 6 more points. Instead, it's an incompletion and brings up a 3rd down and 12 for the Rebel offense. Just got word a little while ago that the volleyball tournament is about a half an hour ahead of schedule, so the Rebel match tonight against Preston would likely JV start about 8 o'clock unless they get further ahead in other matches. 3rd and 12, two receivers right, two left. Anderson throws over the middle, and it's up high and behind Trineri. Joey James on the defense. Had Trineri caught it, it would have been a bit short of the 1st down. Instead, it's a 4th and 12. Anderson just not incredibly efficient. 11 of 26, but 114 yards and a score through the air. Rebels not in a position to kick a field goal. A punt, you'd be lucky to get it inside the 10 and pin the Bears deep. If the Bears start at their own 31, that's not terrible. So Rich going to go for it here on a 4th down and 12. Meek, Huffner, and Wilson, no. Hunting out to the left side. Anderson in the shotgun. A hard count, and the Bears jump. They got Owen Tusher, the sophomore, to move early. And the question is, did any of the Rebels move early? They've definitely stopped the play through. Flags came in from both line judges, and that'll make things a little bit easier. Nice move in that game of chess by Coach Grohl. So 5 yards to the 25. Bears with 67 yards and 6 penalties. A 4th down and 7 for the Rebel offense. 3 receivers left. Huffner moves in motion to the right. Anderson takes the snap. Some pressure comes. He throws over the middle. He's got Reagan Huffner caught at the 12. And he's immediately tackled by Tiegan Criswell. But Huffner with the 1st down. A nice pass from Jared Anderson, who's now 12 of 27. That takes the Rebels down to the 13. A 12-yard gain. Huffner with 3 receptions. 4 receptions for 42 yards. Time on the clock, 4 seconds. After that completion, Rebels on the right hash mark. And they stop the clock for the 1st down. Then it starts as Rich lines up to get the snap just before the horn. Anderson throws over the middle. He's got Trineri in and out of his hands at the front end of the end zone. And as time expires in the 3rd quarter, the Rebels just miss out on an opportunity for the score, but still have the football. When we return with 4th quarter action, this 3rd quarter has been brought to you by the town of Randolph. Good luck from Mayor Lynn Weston, board members Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and clerk Lana Peart.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Landon Hunting, and you're watching Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists.
The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Rebels trailing 19-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Just picked up a first down a couple of plays ago. And then on that last play, as time expired in the third quarter, Anderson threw for Trineri over the middle, and Kaysen had it in and out of his hands. Falls just incomplete. He was right on the front edge of the end zone, and he held on. I think he would have been in for the score. Instead, second down and 10 from the Bear Lake 13-yard line. 12 minutes left to go in this one as we begin the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Anderson back to throw. Again, setting up the screen, and it's intercepted. Anderson with the quick tackle of Briston Schreiber, but on the screen, he just didn't get it high enough. Schreiber, big and tall, got those long arms up there and just pulled it in, and the Rebels turn it over. I hate to say yet again, but that has been an issue today. So with 11:52, that's Anderson's third interception of the day on 12 of 28 passing. .30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bears. Carlson takes the snap, and it's going to be a healthy dose of Garbett, who picks his way forward across the 35 out to the 37. And make it the 38. Garbett close to a first down. The Bears, we're going to see a healthy dose of Garbett, Criswell, and Hammond as long as they can continue to move the football. Second down and 2. Quick pitch out to the right side. Hammond is wrapped up and brought down. Deeds got out there and didn't let him get beyond containment. Huffaker out there as well. A 1-yard gain for Hammond to the 39. And if the Rebels want a chance in this one, they got to get a stop pretty quick. 11 minutes left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. 19-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. 3rd and 1. Garbett in motion to the left hip of Carlson. Snap, give up the middle. Hammond has the first down and more. He's free to the 40, down the sideline to the 30, being chased by Hunting, who wraps him up and brings him down near the 10-yard line. Hunting hustled and got the good angle, but Hammond with the big run. He's over 100 yards rushing with that carry. Down to the Rebel 11. 11 plus 39 is 50 yards on that carry. Puts Hammond at 124 rushing yards in the game. Hunting must have come down funny as he made that tackle. He asks for a break and gets it. Heads off the field. Checking in is Jaden Grohl, the sophomore at free safety. Bears with a first down and 10 at the Rebel 11-yard line after that long run by Garbett. Carlson, or not by Garbett, but by Hammond. Carlson looks things over, surveys, then turns and asks for a timeout. 19-6, 10:21 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Quick break, and we'll be right back.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Tyler Jackson, and you're watching Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, and mylocalradio.com.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit bearlakerealty.com today.
Bears with a first down at the Rebel 11. Handoff to Garbett. He's patient and finds a hole off the right side all the way down inside the 5 near the 2. Garbett with a nice run, showing some patience to let those blocks develop. Quick shout out to the Rich Rodeo Club out of doing their rodeo out in Vernal this afternoon. Todd Cornea and the rest of the Rebel gang out there wishing them good luck in Vernal at the rodeo today and tomorrow. So that's down to about the 3. Carlson takes the snap, gives up the middle, and Hammond has a big hole right up the gut for the score. Set up by Garbett's 8-yard run the play before. The Bears have found some offense here in this second half after just 7 points total combined for the two teams in the first. That's the Bears' 3rd touchdown of this second half. Bear Lake lined up to go for 2. Carlson, the shotgun, brings Criswell in motion, hands off up the middle, and Hammond is stuffed. Rebels didn't read it as well on the touchdown run, but they read it perfectly on that 2-point conversion attempt. So the 2-point conversion, no good. And the Bears lead 25-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. That was just a 5-play drive from the Bears' own 30-yard line, so 70 yards. 9:47. 2 minutes and 5 seconds on that drive. 9:47 left here in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. Rebels in a hole. Matt Hammond, his first 6 carries, he had 36 yards, and 35 of those were on one run. But since then, he's found a lot more big holes. Gains of 7, 12, 14, and then 50 before that 3-yard touchdown run moments ago. He's got 127 yards on 14 carries. 9:47 left to go, and the Rebels need a quick answer on offense. So Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff coming up. Bear Lake Physical Therapy helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. Offices in Randolph and in Montpelier and in Garden City as well. For your convenience, that's Bear Lake Physical Therapy. Bears lined up to kick it off from south to north. That's right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Rebel volleyball team, again, 0-2 so far today, losing to Evanston and Mountain View earlier. And we'll face Preston tonight. Once this game finishes up here at Rebel football, I'll pack things up and run up back to Cokeville and get as much of that match as we can for you on the radio and online. Kickoff by Schreiber, way out wide to the right, out of bounds at about the 30. So Rich will have good field position on the kick out of bounds. Trailing 25-6, the Bears failed on 2 point after touchdown kick attempts, and then after that last score, they went for 2 and failed. Rebel defense was stout up the middle on a handoff to Hammond. Rich needs to find some offense here. Again, needing 3 scores. 2 scores won't do it. Even if they get a couple of touchdowns and 2-point conversions, they'd still be down. By 3. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right, and the Rebels attacking left to right. Anderson fakes the handoff, throws the long throw to Trenary out on the right sideline. He makes the catch, and he's hit immediately. That was a timing throw, and it worked well. Not a huge gain, but out to the 41-yard line. Started this drive from their own 35. They'll spot it. They're actually closer to the 42, so a 7-yard gain to Trenary. He's up to 69 receiving yards in the game. Anderson with 133 passing yards. 2nd down and 3. This Rebel offense. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Anderson again from the pistol. Looks left, looks right, nowhere to go. Runs to his right, lobs it up over the top. Caught by Huffner on the tip. Tiptoes the sidelines to stay in. Makes the catch. What a grab by Reagan Huffner in traffic. And credit Anderson as well, buying some time with his feet, directing traffic with that left hand and then throws up over the top to Huffner to the Bear Lake 41-yard line. A 17-yard pass and catch. Reagan Huffner, 59 yards receiving on 5 receptions. 2 receivers left, 2 right again. Anderson fakes the handoff to Hislop, keeps it himself, dives up the middle inside the 40. We hadn't seen that in a while, as the Rebels had gone pass, 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 pass. Comprehensive Family Dental first down on that long pass play, and Anderson picks up 4 to the 37. Jared with 88 yards on 16 carries plus 150 passing yards. Man in motion, Huffner right to left. Takes the snap, gives, and this time keeps it with Hislop. He's wrapped up immediately and has nowhere to go. Coach Grohl thinking the Bears are looking for the pass. Let's try a couple of runs, but the Bears' defensive line has been all over it. Loss of 3 on the play. Hislop with 7 carries for 7 yards in the game. Rebels' running game has consisted of Anderson keeping it on the quarterback keeper and nothing else consistently productive. 3rd down and 9. Anderson calls for the snap. Jared back looking to throw. Plenty of time, still looking. Just roams to his right a little bit. Back to his left. He's tripped up and brought down as Jackson Garbett came slicing in quickly and forced Anderson to lose his footing. Back to the 48. And a loss of 8. Just the 2nd time Jared's been sacked today. Brings up a 4th and long, and Rich will line up to punt with 7:17 left to go. They've gone 0 for 2 on 4th down conversion attempts today. Huffaker back to punt. Lutz moving in motion. He wasn't sure where he was supposed to be. He thought he was supposed to be lined up wide outside and was shifting toward the line as the Rebels snapped it. Just some early season confusion there as guys trying to figure out where they're supposed to be. Loss of 5. And the possibility of a fake punt probably taken out with that 5-yard penalty. And Rebels back in their own territory with a 4th down and about 21. Huffaker, punt goes off the side of his foot. Takes a Rebel bounce out of bounds about the 30. Could have been a lot worse. Ends up, boy, the 1st down was about the same spot had the Rebels been able to get that 1st down. So that's about a 21-yard punt is all. And now the Rebel defense is tasked with getting a quick stop so the Rebel offense can get the ball back and try to score. 4th quarter brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. 6:52 left to go in this final quarter. Bears on top, 25-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Bear Lake's offense has been solid, consistent in this 2nd half. They've had 1, 2, 3 possessions, and they've scored on all 3 of them. Carlson wanted to hand it off. Nobody was looking for it, so he scrambles to his right. Now Tuck's looking to throw. A flag flies in as he gets across down or around the corner and up the sideline for a gain of about 8. And Rex went down trying to get out there to him, and a flag dropped in at about the 35, a couple yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Asking for the clock to be stopped. The penalty, a blindside block is the call. It's a personal foul against the Bears. That's their 7th penalty. This one will push them back 15 yards. 82 yards in penalties. Back to the 20-yard line. Carlson, again from that short shotgun. Jackson Garbett in motion, over to his left hip. Carlson pressured. Gets away from the pressure out to the left side, tucks it, and he'll step out of bounds. Another backside block, and a flag comes in as Schreiber hit Lutz in the back just after Carlson stepped out of bounds, and we'll see if that's the same call here, or maybe a holding around that outside, which is possibly what allowed Carlson to get around the. It's another, block in the back. So a second consecutive personal foul against the Bears. This will put them half the distance to the goal. They were at the, well, we'll see where they mark it off from, exactly what they do. It was the sophomore Briston Schreiber who made that block. The official walks it off back between the 12 and 13 yard line. And it's first down, and let's see, the 12 to the 42. That's 30 yards to move the chains for the Bears. 6.5 left to go in this ball game. And a flag flies in at the last second.
Another flag on the play.
So an illegal procedure. The Bears, that's 3 consecutive penalties on 3 consecutive plays. I'm running out of room to write down penalties on my drive chart as they push themselves back to the 7. And a 1st and 35, give up the middle, and fighting forward is Hammond out near the 10. A short gain. Quick update on the volleyball tournament at Cokeville. Cokeville was scheduled to play at 8:30 tonight, and that match is just about to start on a different court. They're quite a bit ahead in the tournament, so we may not be able to bring you the Rich versus Preston match tonight, just because we're here covering the football game and would not get up to Cokeville in time to cover the match. A second down. And a give left side. Not much there as the Rebel defense stops Hammond again. And Hammond this time loses a yard. Trayson Lutz on the tackle. Bears content to just eat up some clock, though, as they lead 25-6, and time running down in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Carlson calls for it. Garbett goes in motion. Carlson throws and tipped, almost picked off. Stetson Huffaker had a shot at it, but the clock stops as it falls incomplete. Carlson 9 of 19 for 102 yards and a touchdown with 1 interception. 4th down and a mile. They're back at the 10. They need the 43 for a first down. The Bears, a 4th and 34, line up to punt. Owen Tusher back on the very back edge of the end zone to punt this one away. Landon Hunting back to return. Rebels bring the house, try to block it. They don't get to it. High bounce, and Hunting has to just back away. It's hit by Joey James right at what would have been the first down marker at the 43-yard line. And the Rebels have a first down and 10 in Bear Lake territory. 5:02 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. And Rich trails 25-6. Starting from the Bears' 44-yard line. Rich needs a quick score, and then another one, and then another one. They've turned it over a bunch of times today, including 2 interceptions here in the second half. They had 3 turnovers on downs in the first half, plus an interception and 2 fumbles. That's been a huge issue today, the turnovers. One of our epic recreation keys of the game was win the turnover battle. Rebels have not done that. A penalty on the Bears. Didn't see what it was, but a sideline penalty puts the Rebels at the 40-yard line to start this drive, a 1st and 10. Anderson from the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 right, steps back, looking to throw, sets up the screen. He's got Trineri at the 40, has a blocker to the 30, 25, dives down inside the 25 for the first down. Rebels have tried to set that up a couple of times and never got it to work, but boy, it worked that time. Clear down to the 24. It's a 16-yard gain. And so the Rebels move the chains. A comprehensive family dental first down. Trineri, 85 receiving yards on the day. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Meek comes in motion, gets the handoff, and cuts up the middle. Ball popped out, and the Bears have it. Rebels fumbled it in the first quarter, threw an interception in the first, plus the 3 turnovers on downs. Another fumble in the second quarter. 3 more turnovers here in the second half, and turnovers are going to be what doomed, a big part of what doomed the Rebels today. 4:32 left to go, and the Bears take over following that fumble from their own 22-yard line. 4:32 left to go. That possession for the Rebels just 30 seconds before the turnover. Pitch to Hammond, left side. He picks his way forward, and he breaks free to the 50, to the 40. Kason Trineri has an angle, but he won't catch him. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Matt Hammond. The Bears wanted to run the clock out. Matt Hammond wanted to run to the end zone. He goes 78 yards and tacks on another score for the Bear Lake Bears. That puts Hammond over 200 rushing yards on the day, plus the 2 scores. The Bears will line up to go for 2. Carlson sends a man in motion, throws the fade to the left side, and misses too high. So the extra point, 2-point conversion attempt doesn't happen. We'll take a quick break. 4:18 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth. Rebels trail 31-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today.
The Rebels were closest when it was 13-6 midway through the third quarter. Bears answered with Joey James' 77-yard kick return for a touchdown, 19-6. Rebels tried to answer a couple of times, but the Bears have scored on all but one of their possessions in the second half. Matt Hammond with 2 touchdown runs, including that last one of 78 yards. And let me just, I'm not going to, I was pretending to myself that I could do that math in my head. 129 plus 78, that's 207. Had to pull out the quick calculator. Matt Hammond, 207 rushing yards to lead all rushers. And 2 touchdowns on 17 carries. Briston Schreiber to kick it off, a Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. Rebels back to return. Shallow. Trineri at about the 20-yard line. This one bounces. Hunting slips and falls on it at the 31. And that's where Rich will take over 1st and 10. 4:17 left to go. So if you're watching online at MyLocalRadio.com, you see the Rebels trailing 31-6. Rich from their own 31-yard line. Just got word from Cokeville that the Rebel match against Preston tonight is likely to start in about 40 minutes. By the time we wrap up this game, do a quick post-game show, we'll talk with Coach Justin Grohl in the post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. Stay tuned for that. We likely won't have time to get to Cokeville. We'll keep you updated as we get more updates here as this game continues, but That's the situation in Cokeville. Rebels and Preston playing tonight. Anderson back to throw. A lot of pressure. He's forced back, steps up in the pocket, but sandwiched, brought down, nowhere to go. Kason Culver, the junior inside linebacker, brought some pressure and made the tackle. Third sack of the day. Anderson loses 4 yards. That's minus 17 yards, and brought down back at the 28. Second down and 13. The Rebel offense. Anderson steps way back, looking to throw, and throws over the middle. Looking for Colton Hislop on the screen. Hislop dove back on a low throw. Better that he didn't catch it, because it would have been a loss had he pulled it in. Third down, 13 yards to go. Rebel offense, and the Rebels trailing 31-6 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Again, the JV lost 38-10 earlier today. We've seen some very good things from the offense today, and it's been an exciting, a lot of plays run for this Rebel offense, but haven't been consistent enough. Here's the third down and 13. Ball near the right hash. Anderson back to throw, pump fake. Now lobs it deep down the left sideline. Trineri trying to keep his toes in. Can't catch the ball. Joey James on coverage. Falls incomplete. And a fourth down and 13. Huffaker will likely check in and punt this one away with 3:11 left to go. That incompletion stops the clock. Rebel possession real short as they get set to punt it away. Good snap to Huffaker. Stetson gets off a nice high end-over-end boot. James fields it, runs to his right. Lutz reaches out, can't quite reel him in, and James breaks free to the 40. A flag flies to the 30 down the right sideline. Finally wrapped up and driven hard out of bounds. Jaden Nelson on the tackle. James a little bit slow to get up, but there's a flag clear back near midfield. Will likely be a holding or a block in the back, and bring this Bears return back into their own territory rather than setting up at the Rebel about the 20-yard line. Yeah, block in the back on the Bears. They've had a few more penalties than the Rebels in this game. I've got Rich with 4 penalties, 26 yards. The Bears with 10 penalties. If you add up the loss yardage on the return, that's about a 40-yard penalty, but it counts as a 10-yarder. They walk off just 10 yards from the Rebel 48. So that's 107 yards in penalties against the Bears in this game, but their offense has been quite a bit more productive, especially Matt Hammond, who has 17 carries for 207 yards, including touchdown runs of 78 and 3, plus a 35-yard run, and Teagan Criswell a 26-yard touchdown run. So the penalty puts the Bears back at their own 41-yard line. First and 10 with 2:55 left to go. And we'll see if the Bears, I would imagine they'll just line up and try to run some clock, but that, I think, was what they were doing on the last play when Matt Hammond broke free for 78 yards and a score. The chain gang gets into place. Bears looking to the sideline. They've got the McDonald's, the Superman, and the yield sign up on the poster board. They're going college style, holding up those poster boards to call the play. Give to Hammond up the middle, and he picks his way forward out near the 45. Be about a 4-yard gain, bring up a second down. Jaden Nelson on the tackle. 4 yards, puts Hammond at 211 yards rushing in the game. Second down and 6. Down to 2.5 minutes left to go in this one. Rebels will get back in action next Friday at Westside. Coach Tyler Brown's brother, one of the assistants on that, or Coach Ashley Brown's brother, one of the assistants on that Westside football team. Handoff to Criswell. Ball pops loose, picked up by the Bears. And while the Rebels look for it, Schreiber scooped it up and ran for 4 yards. It was just about an offensive lineman's dream as he picks up 4 on the carry. And that'll bring up a 3rd and about 2. They need to get across the midfield into Rebel territory to move the chains. Carlson pitches outside. Hammond sidesteps one would-be tackler, and then he's wrapped up and driven down Leo Spuler and Jared Anderson on the tackle, and it's very close. They'll move the chains. I saw this near side line judge say, yep, move it along, guys. 1st down and 10. Chain gang falling asleep a little bit, but Hammond needed 2. They give him 3. To the Rebel 48-yard line. Keeps the clock running on that 1st down. Garbett in motion to the left side of Carlson. Takes the snap, gives to Hammond. Starts up the middle, breaks outside, and gets inside the 45 to the 41. Clock continues to run as Hammond picks up 7. That's 20 carries, 221 yards in the game for Matt Hammond. And he's run harder and harder as this game has worn on. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Carlson, short shotgun, sends Garbett in motion, pitches it out to him on the right side. Can't go anywhere outside, cuts back in, and Nelson chases him down, drives him to the ground. Inside the 40 to the 37, and that's another Bear Lake 1st down. Garbett moves the chains on a 4-yard run. He has 8 carries for 40 yards in the game, and we're under a minute left to go in this one. Let's see if the Bears elect to take a knee. Carlson under center for the first time today, and maybe indicating that he will take a knee, and he does. Might have to run one more. We'll see how the timing works out on this play, but the Bears will come away with a 31-6 win. After defensive battles, the Rebels shut out the Bears 2 years ago and won 2-0 after a safety. The Bears shut out the Rebels last year and won 14-0. Today, one more knee for Ashton Carlson, and the Bears win. Time running down is 7-6-5, and the Bears win 31-6. Rebels, too many turnovers in this one was a huge issue for Rebel football. Volleyball match starting pretty soon. Rich against Preston at Cokeville. We'll try to make this a quick post-game show. Justin Grohl will come up to talk with us. Our 4th quarter has been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. Stay tuned for our Epic Recreation post-game show when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Propane is a byproduct of 2 processes, natural gas processing and petroleum refining. About 90% of U.S. propane is domestically produced and stored in huge salt caverns, which can store 80 million barrels or more of this gas. This quality product is shipped by pipeline, truck, ship, and barge until it reaches T7 Propane in Woodruff. From there, it gets to your home or ranch for your convenience and comfort. Call T7 Propane. Get set up for regular propane deliveries so you don't run out. T7 Propane in Woodruff.
If you haven't eaten a famous Crawford Angus burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph, you haven't lived. It starts with a 1/4 pound Angus beef, pastrami, bacon, pepper jack cheese, and ranch sauce. Add lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and pickles. The only thing that makes it better is when you add an order of home-cut fries and a fresh raspberry shake. Heaven. Stop and enjoy a burger today. The Crawford Trough, open late after every Rich High School home game. 120 South Main, Randolph.
Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation in Bear Lake. Visit epicrecreation.net or find us on Facebook. A quick post-game recap. Rebels open the 2018 football season, high school afternoon, and started off well enough, forcing the Bears to a 3-and-out on Bear Lake's first possession, but then Rich on their next possession, the punt, they were forced to a 3-and-out. The snap goes over Huffaker's head, and Rich was in trouble. They gave it away to the Bears, and Bear Lake had
What are 2 words that tell the world you had the best time ever? Epic recreation. That's right. Nothing else compares, and you do it all again. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at Bear Lake. Open year-round, Epic Recreation has everything you need. Boats, Sea-Doos, paddleboards, kayaks, UTVs, and more. When you want to have an epic vacation at Bear Lake, remember, Epic Recreation equals epic fun. Visit epicrecreation.net.
Winston Churchill said, "No hour of life is wasted that is spent in the saddle." The same is true about education. No hour of life is wasted when learning. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, understand the value of good education. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company is proud to support the students at Rich High School in academics and activities. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Welcome back to the post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation in Bear Lake. Visit epicrecreation.net. The Rebels got 1 pro physical therapy touchdown today, and at that point in the game they were down just 13-6, but then a quick bunch of answers by Bear Lake, and they went on to win 31-6. The Rebels suffer the loss against the Bears in today's game. We'll talk with Justin Grohl in just a moment. He wanted to catch up with his team real quick post-game, and then he'll come join us here in the booth. In the meantime, we've got a quick highlights and stats, and we'll have a Rebel sports update, talk with Aaron Worthland, Rebel cross-country coach. So let's let you know right now, the Rebels offensively, pretty good, a lot better than the last 2 years. They finished with 269 yards of offense. Jared Anderson had 244 between 88 rushing and 156 passing. But they just couldn't get any rushing yards from anybody else, really. Colton Hislop was bottled up, 7 carries, 7 yards. And the other issue was the fumbles and the interceptions. Anderson with 3 interceptions thrown in the ball game. And meanwhile, the Bears had 398 total yards of offense, 98 yards through the air, and 300 rushing yards, including 221 and 2 touchdowns for Matthew Hammond. So Rich dips to 0-1 on the season ahead of next week's game at Westside. Stay tuned. We'll talk with cross-country coach Aaron Worthland on the Rebel Sports Update when we return on the Epic Recreation post-game show on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 20 for quality and best practices and critical access. Offering a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. When it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
It doesn't matter what season you visit Bear Lake. Make sure you always stop at Pugstone Sporting Goods. You'll find lots of great quality inventory at low prices, including guns and ammo. During the winter, you can rent cross-country skis, snowshoes, and buy your ski passes to Beaver Mountain. Pugstones is always the best place to get information about the area and purchase your hunting or fishing licenses. Everything you need with one stop at Pugstone Sporting Goods at the 4-way stop in Garden City.
Ryan STEINECKERT with Coach Aaron Worthland of the Rich cross-country team. Coach, first day of school, you're getting ready to go.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to be back. We've been practicing for just last week and a half, and I'm excited. It's going to be a really good year.
Tell me more. Why do you feel like it'll be such a good year?
There's a lot of positivity in the team. So those that have come, they know what they're expecting. We have some new freshmen coming in, and it makes a big difference to have some of these younger kids come and make a difference and participate with us. Also, there are quite a few that are coming new that are juniors, seniors, who said they want to participate this year. So I think it'll make a big difference. We have a fairly big girls team, it looks like, for our school. So we're looking probably approaching around 10 right now, but we'll find out for sure as the year goes on a little bit. But then boys side, we're looking a little lower in numbers, but those that are there are solid. So I'm really excited for both sides.
You have some contributors from last year. The girls took 3rd, the boys 5th, and you have some runners that contributed to those placings coming back this year.
We do, yes. Not quite so many on the boys' side. We have, I think we'll only actually end up with, we'll have about 2 that contributed last year, and then girls' side we'll have a few that contributed and we'll see Others, it'll make a big difference, those that are new. But we definitely have those that made a difference last year coming back, and so we're really excited for that.
Last year, you got things going a little bit with trying to travel to meets other than region and state. Is that something you're going to focus on this year and try to get kids out, getting times and figuring things out at other meets and other races?
So because we have so many new kids, I've brought it up and mentioned to them, talked to some parents about it. I'm not going to push it any harder than I did last year, but I think that would be something to look into a little bit more next year, simply because we'll get a lot of these newer kids that are coming in, and those that have been running, that ran last year, don't seem to have as great of an interest as I'd hope to go to meets. Plus, it is a little difficult on parents to have to be able to transport and pay for meets. So, but that's where we're at right now.
Also, in the past, you've had players that do volleyball, and then they come out and compete or run in the region and state meets. Same with football. Is that something you'll do again this year?
Definitely. We're pushing for volleyball. I know for sure that we have at least a couple volleyball players and at least one football player. Still pushing to hopefully get a few more to come out and run with us. But a lot of it'll come down to we won't really be able to know until region, and because that's kind of what happened last year. Region came, and then those that wanted to came, and those that didn't decided not to.
Coach, anything else we should touch on about the cross-country team?
Not right now. I'm very excited for the future, and we'll look over the next couple of months to help them succeed and improve, and the team's going to look good. It'll be fun.
Aaron Wortham, cross-country coach at Rich High School. Thanks for your time. Good luck getting the season going.
Thank you, Ryan. Enjoy the day.
Welcome back to the Epic Recreation post-game show. Joining me now is Coach Justin Grohl. Coach, I thought I know there's a lot of things you have to work through, and as a first-year coach, you're changing the system, the plays, the formations, some terminology, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot to do, and there were some mistakes, some turnovers, but, boy, that was fun. That was exciting, and you guys, offensively, that was a lot more productive than the last couple of years.
Yeah, we changed it up. We figured that we've got to move the ball a little bit and get going a little bit faster and speed things up and kind of go to our personnel. And so we tried it. Like you said, there was some turnovers. We've got to clean things up. But being their first time, first at everything, that's what I was worried about. But I guess that's what you got to expect. There's most of the team coming in is brand new. I mean, so they're learning. We're learning. But it's a high-speed offense, and we can score quickly if we do it right and keep the turnovers and just keep playing.
You had a couple real nice connections. At least three real good connections. When Anderson could find Huffner, he made some nice catches. Trenary, and then Meek. I love the way he came back to that ball to make the catch, and then turned around and scored the touchdown.
We preach to him. You got to go get the ball. You got to go get the ball. You got to catch the ball. Our offense, most of our offense is around that kind of stuff because running, we use the run, but to open up the pass, and then you use the pass to open back up the run so we can keep it going. And if they'll catch it and that when they want to go get it, they can go get it, and they make some great plays. If they don't, then you see it, and then we have some bad things happen.
Speaking of the run, so Anderson had 88. I had him with 88 rushing yards. Hislop just 7 rushing yards. Would you like to see more production from your running game, or did Anderson do what you want him to do? He made the right reads and he gained the yards? Maybe next time it's Hislop.
It's between those two and the others. It's designed to give it to one or the other, trying to cause some misdirection. They did a great job. I'd like to see a little bit more up front. I think a couple of times they let them through just a little bit too fast. If we would have had a little bit more, not saying that they didn't do a great job, because the linemen up front, they're most of them are inexperienced, but they work hard. We just got to get a little bit better and as we go along through the year, and that we'll get a little bit better.
Are there other things that, are there some fundamental things you see, you need to work on, stances at the line of scrimmage, or are things along those lines?
Yeah, more than anything, I think it's just the turnovers. We had a couple of drop balls and a couple of things that just didn't work the way we run them. If we can eliminate our turnovers, I think we'll be just fine in the future. Like I said, we should be able to score pretty fast. Yeah. If it's designed like Anderson, he can go for 20 and come back and throw a pass for 20. And so we're just trying to, it's a quick offense, and we can move quite quite well. We just have to finish. It's kind of that old basketball term, but you got to just finish right in the red zone or the blue zone. We got to finish. That's where we stop and kind of sputter.
Defensively, how do you feel like the team played? You gave up a lot of yards and you know, a lot of points, but overall thoughts on your defense today?
Yeah, defense at times, most of the times we're good, and then we just give up a bad big play, you know, and we got to eliminate that. If we can stop all those big plays, you know, everybody's going to get a big play once or twice a game. If we can keep it to 1 or 2 a game, then we'll be just fine. If we keep giving them big ones, you know, go, and then give them some big ones and that, then that's what we got to eliminate.
Coach, next week is West Side. We'll talk some more about them on Monday, I think, when I talk with you. But any, you know, early thoughts on the Pirates?
They're good. They were very good last year, and they're returning, and they're big, they're strong, they're fast. We play over at their place, which is always hard to play, you know. And so all I can say is they're very good. We're going to sit down, review some film, show it to the kids, and break it down so that we can be prepared. You know, we play these first 2 to get ready for our league games and get us ready, and they'll be good. They'll be a really good team. Just how these kids, if we can get them to react positively instead of hanging their heads.
Right. Anything else you want to touch on, Coach?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Justin Grohl, thank you for joining me here on the post-game show.
Thank you.
Rebels fall to Bear Lake 31-6, but a fun afternoon of football. And one thing I wanted to mention to you as you're walking away, Coach, I remember last year at Bear Lake, each team had 2 possessions the entire first half. And but here today, you got a lot more possessions, a lot more opportunities with the football. It was a lot of fun. Coach Justin Grohl, thank you so much. You're on the Epic Recreation post-game show. We'll take one more quick break and take a look ahead at what's coming up the rest of the weekend and into next week on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at MyLocalRadio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit MyLocalRadio.com today.
What are 2 words that tell the world you had the best time ever? Epic Recreation. That's right. Nothing else compares, and you do it all again. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at Bear Lake. Open year-round, Epic Recreation has everything you need. Boats, Sea-Doos, paddleboards, kayaks, UTVs, and more. When you want to have an epic vacation at Bear Lake, remember, Epic Recreation equals epic fun. Visit epicrecreation.net.
Welcome back to the post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net or find us on Facebook for all your rentals year-round at Bear Lake in the mountains out on the lake. Again, thank you to Coach Justin Grohl for that quick interview here on the post-game show. Rebels lose 31-6 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard, but some fun offense. If you eliminate some turnovers, finish some drives, that's a much different ball game. Or maybe the story for a lot of football games, a lot of sports. If only a couple things would have been different. It's time for the look ahead at what's coming up the rest of this weekend in Rebel sports and in the Roundup calendar around Rich County. Rebels continue play tonight at the Cokeville tournament. They're taking on Preston. We're going to try to wrap this up and hustle up to Cokeville to bring you that match here on KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com. Tomorrow we'll bring you all the matches of Evanston at the Cokeville tournament. Opponents and game times to be determined, but we'll have them all on MyLocalRadio.com and KADQ FM. On Monday, school begins at Northridge Elementary. Kindergarten begins on Monday. Then next Friday, it's the Rebel football team at Westside, the Pirates. JV's at 4, Varsity at 7 o'clock. Our pregame starts next Friday night at 6:15 p.m. That takes us through next weekend and wraps up our look ahead at what's coming up in Rich County sports and activities. Well, that also wraps up our post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net. For today's videographer, Dylan Negus, and our producer, Gabby Bowie and A.J. Lamb, producers, back in the studio. Thanks for tuning in. Again, the Bears with a win, 31-6 on the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Keep it tuned here to KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com for Rebel Volleyball tonight from Cokeville as Rich takes on Preston. Until then, I'm Ryan STEINECKERT. We'll talk with you again soon.
You've been tuned into Rich High School Rebel football on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3 with video online at MyLocalRadio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Plains Tire, MyLocalRadio.com, Jensenwood Motors in Montpelier, Idaho, Evanston Regional Hospital, Rocky Mountain Yeti, by the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, and by Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan. The preceding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder.
Our executive producer is Val Cook. We thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with KNYN Sports Director, Jake Hibbert, Bridger Valley Sports Director, Sean Bennett, and production assistants, Jordan Bowie and A.J. Lamb. Biggest thanks to all of our sponsors. We thank you so much, and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit MyLocalRadio.com for archived games and past interviews with Rebel players and coaches. Thank you for joining us on this presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at MyLocalRadio.com. Until the next time Rich High football team takes the field,